So I'll go ahead and begin with everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. I'm getting PMs, I'm getting DMs, I'm getting emails. I'm glad you guys could both make it this week because people want answers.
And what's the question?
What's going on?
How was Brofest? Everybody wants to know how Brofest was.
So I was there from 10 to 7.
Well, he said, when do I need to leave? I said, I mean, we go to bed around 11. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think I didn't leave till like 7 or something.
Oh, you guys don't call it Brofest. Joe told me what you guys. I'm sorry because I made up the term Brofest as like a joke. But Joe said you guys don't call it Brofest anymore. You call it PWB, Podcasters Without Bobby. It's like the name of the crew.
Man, jeez, I told you. Did I tell you last week when I was there? I said he's gonna feel that way about us hanging out without him.
I'm glad my blood pressure is okay. There's a lot of salt in here.
You would have been extremely bored.
Speaking of other odd things, right?
Why is that odd?
Oh, it's extremely odd. You two hanging out. I don't like it.
He was my friend first.
Dude, if you look at
I found it.
I brought it up in our shared calendar. If you look at when I became friends with each of you, we were both separate and independent from one another. I'll tell you something else that was bizarre. Is my sister-in-law is now listening to the show.
Sister and which?
My wife's sister.
Oh, I met her in Christmas.
Yeah, M.
Yeah,
M. Shout out to M. What up, M?
before.
She's fucking amazing. She's great. I love her to death. A credit.
She's cool. She doesn't seem like the way you talk about the other.
Well, easy. Because
if she listens back,
that's the problem.
About 50 to 100 episodes.
I was like, fuck. I hope she doesn't go through the fucking catalog.
How does she get put on the show?
I don't. Probably through social media. I mean, she knows I do it. So I don't know if she gave it a shot, but the only reason why I know is because she hit up Laura and was like, "Yeah, The Watchmen is fucking trash," and then Laura was like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Well, Bobby was talking about it on the, and then like, there's like, oh,
how long has she been listening for?
I think only like the last episode or two."
Because there were three female listeners. We got her.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah,
that's right.
Ramping them up, and Anna.
Well, actually,
from the beginning.
I need to make a correction on something I said last week, according to my wife.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
She was the one that was watching The Replacements, and I happened to walk in the room, and she actually was the one who said, "See, he can act," or something to that nature.
Okay.
So my apologies to my darling wife. I told her it's just storytelling.
It is true. Sometimes
Please don't publicly call me out on my bullshit.
Sometimes I put some sauce on some shit too, just because I'm like, oh, it's going to be funnier.
Oh, of course it is.
I want to talk about The Watchmen real quick, just because. Okay. This last episode last night was fucking great.
Awesome. Made it all worthwhile, right?
It was fucking great. Like, it did not make it all worthwhile. But it was that. If every episode was in that vibe, it didn't have to be as eventful because it's the second to last episode, but just about the fucking core cast of characters in some way, shape, or fucking form, I would have never said what I said last episode. But it just hasn't been. It's just been some shit that like seemingly has had no real connection to The Watchmen.
So
you could theoretically tell that same story in any fucking universe, and it doesn't really change the dynamics. It could be called Batman. Like it doesn't matter because like it doesn't even need to take place in Gotham.
I have no interest whatsoever in ever watching this, based on
what Bobby said.
Well, no, just I don't know. I have it sitting in my TV to watch. I just haven't watched it.
So, referencing to our conversation right before the show about Star Wars stories, is it because you wanted this to be more attached to the Watchmen? Is the story itself and the character's bad?
So it doesn't. It doesn't. Yes.
That's my main question. If it is bad, then it's bad.
So it's bad because it's called The Watchmen. It's not necessarily a bad story. Once again, but it's like it could be with few exceptions. It could be in any fucking universe. Like you just change the spelling of a few things, or you know what I mean. Instead of Rorschach masks, they wear Klan masks, or whatever. Is that a mask? A hood? A hood? A Klan hood? We're going to refer to the Alabama.
Yeah, we both looked over.
We both looked
naturally. What do they call those things you guys wear?
But just like pro wrestling, you don't call it a mask; it's a hood.
Okay,
there you go.
So,
put the bow on it.
If it was the hood and not the a Rorschach mask, then like a lot of the connective tissue doesn't exist. Like it's just that's what's frustrating about it is like
you're waiting for the Watchmen.
This is just called The Watchmen. And with like,
I feel like it's like those licensed toys like in the 80s when it has nothing to do with the show. And it's just like, it's like those.
Yes.
The helmet with the Star Trek.
Yes.
You just put the label on it.
Yes. This is Dirtbag, the Turtles rat. Do you remember the Turtles rat? He had like a mining helmet on. I don't think he was ever in the episodes, but there was a toy of him, and he was called Dirtbag. So this whole season has been one big giant dirtbag. Anyway, but except for this past episode, which was really good and did explain a few things that were super confusing. They took their sweet fucking time to do it. They should have explained some of these things a lot early on. I would have enjoyed maybe parts of them more so, but they didn't. So that's a arrangement order. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. Like the guy who arranges, like a music produced and arranged by like that guy, but for movies, that guy needs to be fucking fired.
Isn't it an editor? Don't editors arrange stuff?
Yeah, but I don't know if that varies episode to episode. Like whoever, like it's
the whole
almost
thing
like
together.
Like you don't put Thriller first. Billie Jean goes first, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It sounds like a
beat
hot
it,
mess. I
beat
mean,
it.
So is it at this trajectory? Is it possible for the last episode to make the whole thing worthwhile?
It would be really impressive. It would be some feat.
And even I don't know. Even at that point, I'll probably be pissed. I'm like, if you can do it this good, why didn't you just do it good the entire time?
Yeah, I got another question. You guys have both been with your other halves for a long time, as have I. And I think that the dating field has changed greatly from when. I mean, I started dating my wife in high school. Mm-hmm. Her mom used to have to drive her to my house. The dating field has changed far since then. We didn't have the internet when we started dating. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I started talking to Krista on the net.
Okay.
I mean, we met in person, but we started talking on the net.
Well, you're not just dating on the internet still to this day. We met in person. Like, get that out, no.
No. I mean, some people just met online.
You met
period.
initially in person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know who she is.
Okay.
Like, I've never really talked to her, but we had class together.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, I hit her up on MySpace.
Yeah. Show some love on her page.
Did you make
I don't
show a little love?
Did
You show a little love on her
you-
page?
Did you make it to the top 8?
That's another
No,
good
because
question.
we migrated to Facebook shortly. I was texting her with my sidekick at the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, T-Mobile.
I bet
That little
you.
flip thing.
I had a sidekick.
Yeah.
I bet you being a single man and having somebody show love on your page with a little sparkly, like, thinking of you, you're like, oh, I'm fucking this. For sure. For sure. This is as good as mine, would be my guess. Oh, what a flex.
What?
What
No,
a flex.
it's not a flex.
What is it? I didn't see it.
Hang on. It's something that I've been fucking waiting on for 2 weeks that I'm trying to get done.
Fucking Chris is filling out his W-2s for fucking Mezco over here.
Well, not okay.
Let me just cut in and say, just before anybody starts accusing you of what they've accused me of with Fans Toys, that it was not anything Mezco related necessarily. I was just having a go and a joke because he was filling out some paperwork over there.
Paperwork.
But I wanted to follow the important line of questioning with this is that. So the dating field has changed.
Yep.
People are dating on the internet. Women seem to be just fast and furious. It seems. If my Instagram feed is of any,
It's great. They finally realized the power.
Yeah, but they might want to hold your horses a little bit. It'll be worth it in the long run. But that's not me putting any judgment on you, ladies. Live your best lives and your dreams. No, live your truth, as they like to say. But I will say this: when do you think it is okay? And I'm gonna cut you off before you start, okay?
Why me?
When do you think it is okay to start getting into the weird sex shit? And I'm gonna cut you off before you start. What I mean by weird isn't like anything crazy,
You gotta define things for me, man.
so,
Because I'm different.
So, all right, yeah. So let me. So that's what I'm saying.
Ogres have layers,
So,
like onions.
So not like we're not talking about some wild ass shit, but like something just as like I'm putting your shoulder blades on the floor and I'm putting your ass up parallel with this couch and I'm standing over top of, something like that's wilder sex than just missionary or cowgirl or doggy style. Like I feel like those are the big three.
Okay.
But like, you know what I mean?
The big three.
Like that's Batman,
Ladies
Superman,
and
and Wonder Woman.
please submit your Mount Rushmore of sexual positions.
The other one is side to side with watching
At
TV.
what point does that come? I guess it's it's going to be different for everybody. Is the answer?
Very different for me.
But
so.
at a comfort zone introductory level, when do you introduce the wilder sex into it? After you have crossed the threshold of sexual intercourse with a young lady.
I think you kind of get the vibe from this person
During foreplay, yes, the vibe.
that yeah, and you might try something and sometimes it's just, hey, how about this?
Oh yeah.
But you're gonna do what now? Yeah. So does your dad have any pulleys in the garage? And do you know how to tie a bowline? More importantly, do you know how to get out of a bowline?
Oh, chasing the old rabbit around a tree.
Yeah, up the hole, around the hole, and back in the hole, buddy.
That's for those who know what a bowline is.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Something I was thinking about is like, when do young people now? When do you get into the let's try this bag? Like let's give this a whirl.
See, I think young people and their ease to find pornography, it's I don't know. I think it's a completely different world that we would never even think about. Well,
you and Bobby, yes.
No, I'm just okay.
I was talking about eating ass before I even kissed her.
Yeah, but no. So that would be an example. So that would be an example of something that's not too crazy. But
nowadays, back then it's crazy. Eating ass is normal now. Eating ass is not normal back in the day.
That's something that's not too crazy, but it's not fucking like
pissing on her.
Right.
I've talked about that too before I did it. I mean, like, you don't just spring that on somebody. You're not like showering and then you just start like pissing on them. It's like.
But what I'm saying is, so when do you start? When
you're flirting. Well, for me anyway.
When you're flirting.
Every time. This is not just the girl now. It's like every girl I've talked to.
So like right before you go out to dinner for the first time. You're having this conversation.
I think here's the difference with me, right? I rarely have ever had one night stands. When I date a girl, I've been talking to them. They've been my friend. And even if we didn't end up hooking up, we'd have stayed friends. So like we already.
That's why I don't believe in male-female friendships. But continue.
But I mean, I've had girls that we didn't end up hooking up, and
would you?
Oh yeah.
That's my point.
But I talk to everyone the same. I talk to you, girlfriend or whatever, girls, guys, young people I shouldn't be talking to as adults. I talk to everybody the same, like bros. So like these girls who are my friends already know what I'm into and crazy stuff I talk about. So by the time we do get intimate, they're expecting. Yeah, they're expecting.
Okay, that's different. That's different, I suppose.
It's not like I'm about to have a one night stand and be like, hey, I'm probably won't see you in the morning, but can I piss in your mouth? You
all right, Joe. That's it for today. How was your nerd week?
Like what? How about? Well, you didn't tell me your. I don't know how crazy you get finger dick because you don't talk about that much. I know you go a little bit deeper into the hole, so to speak, Bobby. So like, how was it year 3?
Well, no, that's what I'm trying to think. So
can you remember back when?
That's what I'm trying to think. Is like if we started being seriously intimate in what up M in 1990 and in 1996 late September, early October, somewhere around there. Before it got, a little outside of the realm of kind of
realm.
I don't know if you want to realm this one.
Trust me, the realm needs this one.
Of kind of like your typical standard porno of the time sort of layout.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it was probably. I mean, I want to say it was probably 96 to probably 99, 98, somewhere in there.
Normal
stuff. Yeah, it was probably your standard issued kind of units.
Here's my question to relate it to your question. Is it that people start having sex for a long time and then they want to look for things to spice things up so they start changing? Or are they like me and who've always wanted weird stuff and didn't want to bring it up early on?
No, they want weird stuff. The level of weird changes.
Yeah,
but
you think everyone are just not comfortable bringing it out?
Yeah. It's just like
because you hear about people getting bored after so many years, and then they're like, "Oh, let's try some bondage or whatever."
It's a slow burn.
But so the suggestion of bondage is not because things have gotten boring; it's that they've always wanted it in the first place.
Well, so I don't think that every shoe fits every foot. So I think that some stuff you might be like, well, shit, we've done everything else. Maybe we do need some spice. Let's try something that we hadn't considered. But I think once you get to that phase, you've already tried the things that you have considered. So everybody's got their wild card, stashed away. It's just when you play it and how many you have, and that varies. Is my theory.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know everybody in the world, so it's just a question.
So Joe, have you ever boiled a funny bone? I boiled a funny bone one time.
That's some Alabama shit right there.
No.
What is that?
I boiled a funny bone.
I don't know what that
You know
is.
what you get in? It creates a laughing stock. Joe, it's really humorous.
Damn
It's really, really humorous.
I thought it was like a Blumpkin or something.
Listen, I'll be honest. I wrote this down, and I was like, I've got to figure out
God, fuck,
the great way.
How to drop
God damn
all
it.
three.
Well, it all flows together, yeah.
Right.
And I think the picture, I found that online. I think it was a picture of like John Wayne Gacy or no. Who was it that ate Dahmer?
Dahmer, yeah.
I thought it was like sucking on someone's elbow or some shit like that.
Right.
Oh, your weenus?
Yes,
The little piece of skin that hangs off your elbow is called your weenus.
So, Joe, how was your nerd week?
I had a Brofest. I don't know if you've heard. I had Brofest last week.
PWB was last week, man. Good time had by all.
It was great. You would have been bored out of your mind. We just sat there and worked on shit in one spot all day with a shop vac on 90% of the time. Dude, and I had a great time.
I'm about 90% sure that my I'm having hearing loss from listening to that, so I've started to wear
hearing protection.
in the shop.
What'd you guys work on?
I worked in 40K Spice.
He worked on 3 models this big.
Oh, you were working on something separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he just wanted the vibe. Yeah.
He was just hanging out.
Just wanted the vibe. He wanted to play with my cats.
Yeah, chonky bastards.
But I was working on just
Mesco?
No,
actually,
no.
It was actually a commission.
The office stuff, and then Joe was painting their moldings models and stuff.
And like during intermission of the shop bag with chat, and then had
go back to shop,
and then go back
went
to
upstairs. And
because I'm saying, I think you'd have been bored as fuck.
You know what?
Oh yeah, I would have needed a project.
You know what Joe had for lunch? Microwaved protein bars.
3 of them.
3 of them. Well, I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Microwaved.
Yeah.
12 seconds. Quest bar or the generic Quest bar Kirkland from Costco, the cookie dough and the brownie, 12 seconds make them taste like cookie dough and brownie.
There you go. 12 seconds.
That's Robert D had them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I'll say it was. I actually know. I got out that other project and painted it. Remember the green one?
Yeah.
And
I got a lot done.
I did too, and it's almost just like having somebody else there that's doing something unrelated.
Exactly,
gives you like motivation to keep on working.
Right, and like you won't just go fuck off being distracted with other shit.
That's right.
But like I like that. I miss that. Like during times in my other than Krista is always there. But other than her, like there've been a few times in my life when I've met friends that are in the same wavelength as me, and we can just like hang out with nothing going on. We're just sitting there doing our own thing or whatever, not have obligations to each other. Just doing your own thing, but enjoying each other's company. I love it.
Yep, it was fun for sure.
But yeah, time flew. I was there for like fucking
7 hours,
8 hours, some shit like that.
Then you got 3 little models. Like
I got a lot done that day.
Did you get? I couldn't honestly.
You couldn't tell. No one can tell other than me.
My hands were sore.
Now I'm gonna paint your blue pants brown.
It's gonna be epic.
Other than that, well, like it's Star Wars heavy. Everything is Star Wars. So let me just. The one thing I did that wasn't Star Wars is watch It Chapter 2.
How was that?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not scary.
I saw the trailer for that today. Oh, that was Ghostbusters. Sorry, kind of all looks the same.
It's but like I watch it as a story of the people, not the scary part.
Right.
Mostly scary movies aren't scary. Especially this is kind of like CG heavy, I guess. It's done well, but it's not scary when you can see monsters or whatever. But like the story of how these kids with the fucked up childhood grow up and see where they end up and how they get back together and reestablish a relationship, that is interesting to me.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second part yet.
Because in the the original, the adult story is more of the story. Like I feel like it's more of the meat and potato of the It story.
Yes, that too.
About
the monster itself. And,
Did they go Spider Monster?
Kind of. I mean, it's a shapeshifter.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, it's just done better than the.
The effects are terrible. It never worked for me conceptually. It never worked for me.
I mean, it's not. Why? Because
I don't know.
Giant spiders aren't scary.
No, not in the same way. Not in the same way.
Because it's like you can say it's a spider monster, but like it's not a spider. It's a monster with a bunch of legs. So like, yeah, I guess conceptually it's like a spider.
Mm-hmm. I think that like the unnervingness of the clown, because like it might have been the clown to fuck up the clown thing.
It could have been.
And like the unnervingness of the clown and the creepiness of the clown juxtaposed with just the.
Well, it doesn't go full spider. That's the thing.
No,
it's like.
Do you ever go full spider?
No.
You think
it gets monsters? It's like a monster clown.
Do you think Hollywood should ever go full spider, just in general, or never go full
Spider-Verse?
Spider-Verse
is full spider.
Okay, I'll take it.
Right?
I don't know.
It's spidery as fuck.
There's a lot of spiders.
Numbers scare me like spiders.
Like sociology, biology,
Numerology.
psychology. Numerology is not a thing. Numerology is math. Numerology is fucking like astrology. It's not a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
Joe, there's only one number I'm scared of, and that's 7.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Exactly.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. I'm just making sure, Joe. I just want you to be careful out there.
I'm gonna start joking how this is my last episode to ease the pain of when I leave, like Adam did. He started joking about it a year ago. I was like,
true.
So I'm gonna start joking about it.
No, actually, he brought. You have to bring a replacement in, and then.
Well, he brought me in first,
right?
And I didn't cut. We needed a tall white guy.
He was like, you said, you know what? On second thought, I'm gonna need 2.
I don't want to fuck up the demographics.
So someone offered to be the replacement Asian, I think, on one of our comments. So
good.
Head us up. I finished Clone Wars. It's great. I almost skipped the last season because she said it didn't have too much to do with the main story, and it doesn't. But it was great. It was about how Yoda finds out about.
I wouldn't want you to have skipped it because I think it's great. Also,
okay.
I just was telling you that don't expect it to kind of continue the story in the same way.
The only fucking thing that pisses me off. It's only 13 episodes, right? Which is fine, and most of the episodes are great, which is great. Mm-hmm. They stuck 2 goddamn Jar Jar Binks episode in there when they could have used that 2 episode space for something better.
Yeah. Contractually obligated that he appeared in a certain number of episodes.
Fucking awful.
Agreed.
The only saving grace is that it's also a Mace Windu story, which is cool because you don't see him in action much. So you see Mace, and then you also saw a Night Sister, which is
the whole Yoda Night Sister stuff is cool.
Yeah,
I need to go back and rewatch that. I watched it.
It
like
is so good. It is so good that I immediately started watching Generation Tech's recap of the entire series. It's 3-hour YouTube videos that recaps all the stories into one cohesive thing, and I'm on like video 2 of 3 right now.
3 hours, so 9 hours total.
You could just watch
that explains what's going on.
Half the movies.
No, because like when you watch the show, especially the first time around for me, being not as deep into Star Wars before, a lot of stuff was happening, but I don't really understand the consequences.
So you're just getting a deeper look at everything.
When now I see the battle again, I'm like, oh, this is what they were fighting for. You know what I mean?
I would like you to link me to that as well.
Yeah, and they, I like that channel, like Generation Tech. It's fronted by an Asian guy, which helps already.
Well, look out!
And they do a lot of Star Wars stuff, like in-depth look at things, explanation of things, recap of things.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's I sub to them right away, and then
subscribed or submitted.
What if that's what you had to do? I've submitted to Bobby Skullface on YouTube. He wore me down. Next thing I'm going to submit to his Patreon.
I mean, it happens to me that way when like I don't know about you. When you find YouTube channels, do you like, oh, I like what they talk about, and you subscribe right away?
Yes.
For me, I ended up watching their shit so much I feel bad about not subscribing. I've watched like 13 hours at least of Generation Tech stuff. I'm like, I better subscribe.
I won't subscribe right away, but I'll be like, man, is this a one-hit wonder? Or you know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of the time, what I do is I'll subscribe. So it'll remind me to watch their shit because I'll just be scrolling through. I might even watch all of it. Oh, this looks interesting. And like there's a lot of people, like CNC stuff, and artists and whatnot.
Are there any people that you enjoy their content but you hate on them and don't subscribe?
Yes.
Me too.
I'm not giving you. I'll give you a view. But I'm not giving you a subscribe, motherfucker.
Me too. Will you put it out there? I'll tell you who I put out there. DJ Vlad.
Yeah. Okay.
He does interviews and stuff, but I hate on him because he irritates me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But he has really good content.
Yeah.
So I watch almost everything that he does, but I won't subscribe to him.
It was a while before I subscribed to you. It's like, I don't know about this skull mask clown.
Yeah, the skull mask has been.
I didn't watch some of his stuff to begin with because I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, of course, I let YouTube roll a lot, and then while I'm doing stuff, and I'm like, oh, this guy's making a lot of sense. I look over, oh, it's a skull mask guy.
Yeah.
And then I watched more of your stuff. It was a while before I subbed, and then when I subbed, I was like, I was good to go.
The skull mask thing, I think, is very polarizing. Like, I think it turns a lot of people off to what I do because I consistently get that sort of.
But then once you're in, you're in.
Yeah. But I get like I'm not going to take any advice from a guy who wears a skull mask, and it's like.
But it's also you're talking about toys.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's silly.
Sir, those are collectibles for ages 18 and
13,
up.
13.
I'm being safe.
Attention, YouTube. 13. It's all for 13 and up.
I've seen some people. I've seen some people that do toy reviews and ACBA stuff that they have this disgustingly foul-mouthed intro they do now with a big parental advisory. They're just like making the point.
Yeah, it's funny because before this, I followed a channel where like they don't cuss 30 seconds into or towards the end of their show, whatever, that video, to like not get flagged. Because like they don't want to flag having cuss words in the beginning and end. Now they just cuss all the time because they normally cuss anyway.
I'm thinking about putting a bumper in the beginning of mine, just like a quick little like the following content is intended for ages 13 and up, and leave it at that.
But say a bunch of stuff and speed it up.
But I don't think right.
No representation is made of the quality of legal services be provided.
You should have Selena read it.
But but I don't think that. First of all, I don't think it's going to do any good if it comes to that. And secondly, like I'm not going to do a whole bunch of cursing just for the sake of it. I'm not.
Fuck shit ass bitch cunt scoobity doo wah.
Because I actually enjoy the exercise of not cursing. For like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like
so hard.
It's like
so hard.
Yeah. I mean, I put out the outtakes. You know what I mean? And on the outtakes, I'm always cursing and getting all bent out of shape.
So we've been watching a lot of Star Wars stuff, and then Chris was like, "It's starting to get convoluted. She wants to know more." So she actually sat down and watched the 45-minute recap of the Star Wars universe timeline with me.
Oh wow!
And it made a lot more sense, but it spoiled some shit for her, which is fine because I don't think she was spoiled with a Massage's death. Spoiler alert. But like that's her favorite character, but she's not gonna. I don't think she was gonna read the novel.
The book, right?
That's why I was wondering if there's a comic of it or something. But yeah, so she's in. Like she was like, she like enjoyed it enough before, but like now she's in because we started watching Mandalorian because now she was like the thing was we got to finish Clone Wars first and then Mandalorian. So we're caught up on Mandalorian. So we can talk about it now actually, but like she recognized by sight and said it by name. Oh, that's Tatooine. I'm like, look who's the expert now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it is. For somehow, some way, as kind of, abstract as it is, it's very uniquely, like, indistinguishable from anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's just very, not indistinguishable, but it's fucking, like, it's instantly recognizable as Tatooine. I feel like, if you know Tatooine.
Yeah, especially as...
Even though it's just huts in the sand. It's like, nope, that's...
The architecture...
That particular type of hut, that's a fucking Tatooine hut,
It's a Jabba the Hutt.
That too.
But yeah, the two suns and maybe the filter they use, the way the bar look,
right?
Like all of it. But yeah, I enjoyed it, even though some people didn't enjoy that episode that much. Started watching Rebels, quite enjoying it. Like I was expecting. I think part of it is because I was expecting to be disappointed because everyone's like, "Well, it's not Clone Wars,"
yeah, which it's not.
Which is not. But like,
I need to interrupt you to pay you a compliment, and I think Bobby will agree. I'm so proud of you for embracing Western culture.
Or Eastern, because it's heavily influenced by samurais.
Maybe that was the buy-in.
Well, see, it was kind of a double-edged sword there because Western. It's
single-edged. Samurai use single-edged swords.
Funny bone. No, because it's a Western kind of theme to the show. I know it's a samurai theme.
Yeah,
too.
but that's the funny thing because I don't like Westerns. I don't like cowboy stuff, but I like samurai stuff. But they have enough of a crossover to where when you watch it, sci-fi.
I don't think you've seen any
imaginary.
I don't think you've seen any good westerns.
I've seen all the quote-unquote good ones, I think, because I've seen I've seen Tombstone. It's all right. For what I like it for what it is.
Tombstone's pretty good. I'm not a big Western guy either, but Tombstone's a fucking good movie.
Some of the old John Wayne stuff that was about the spaghetti westerns. I don't remember the guy's name. The guy's an Italian guy who directs it. He was very heavily influenced by samurai movies. Some good shit.
Yeah, that shit I probably can't.
I mean, like Magnificent Seven and stuff is. But I like
Seven Samurai.
I like the Seven Samurai version better.
Sure,
and the remake of it and the anime of it.
But you got to think when that was made and who it was targeted to.
Yeah. So when I see something completely fantastical like Star Wars, like I get more of the samurai feel, whereas you guys get more of the Western feel, which works for everybody.
It's just really busting balls because you're not talking about anime.
Yeah, for me it depends. Like in Mandalorian, I get a lot more of the Western feel. But
him and Yoda reminds me of Lone Wolf and Cub,
which is fine. But like the Jedi, I get a lot more of the samurai feel, and especially when they got buns in the back of their heads and all sorts of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah,
like the Vader's helmet.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm gonna tie that into my nerd week. That point I was.
But I'm quite enjoying Rebels.
Where are you at?
Oh, it's short. I'm only like 5 episodes.
Okay, I can't wait to hear your commentary after you see the episode.
Okay, because like Krista and I are just waiting for Ahsoka to show back up. Yeah. I mean, I like these guys are all cool.
Season 2.
But like Ezra just reminds me of like a Star Wars Aladdin in the beginning. Like, it looks like Aladdin and acts like Aladdin.
What are you calling the episode without giving it away?
The Ahsoka Darth Maul episode.
Okay.
Which is like it's. I was having a conversation with guys recently about it, and it was like it's just undeniably the best episode of Rebels. Like
I gotta rewatch that. I've seen all this shit, but it's just been so long. I need to just
like Clone Wars. I could be like, my favorite is, but this one's really good too, and this one's really good too. But like Rebels is like, nope, this is the one. There's other ones that are competing for second place, but this is the one. But yeah, continue.
But no, I've been all my quote unquote downtime, like when I'm working on stuff while I'm driving, it's just been Star Wars.
Nice.
More videos, and I'm like,
I'm liking Joe.
I'm like, I'm not a fan of, like, I was right all along, even before when I wasn't deep into it, just on service level. I'm like, I don't think the Jedis are great. And now I'm like, no, the Jedis are not good.
Right.
They're not fucking good at all. They're just another side of it's like, well, politically speaking, it's like watching the far left and the far right fight. I'm like, you guys both suck.
Yeah.
And then like the only faction I care about and I wish would have had a way in the game is the clones.
Yeah,
the clones are my favorite faction.
Yeah.
If they're a faction,
cool. Clones are fucking cool.
And I think I was gonna say what I rate. I think my hate for fandoms and hype is my own fault. So I think maybe I'm what you've been accused of all along.
Really,
which is a contrarian. Because after I watched Mandalorian episode 5 now. Mm-hmm. And I'm scrolling through my feed, and some people are praising. I'm like, it's not that fucking good. And some people are like shitting on him, like, it's not that bad.
It's not that fucking bad.
You know, and people are like, I get it. You put a lot of your own interpretation and spin on things, like writing a fucking 2-paragraph analysis of the episode of why you think it's so great. I'm like, nah. Most of that is just your fucking opinion that you read into on your own.
Right.
So I'm like, I just don't like people's opinions, I think.
Well, like,
it comes down to it.
I mean, I struggle with hype. Like, that's why I try to shield myself from as much of it as much of it as possible, because if you tell me it's the fucking greatest thing ever, now I got my fucking greatest thing ever critic hat on. You know, and I'm going to be comparing it to what you said.
That's why I don't like, I love that Hawkeye book, but I didn't tell you that. Because I didn't want to do that. I mean, we're going back a ways here, but I purposefully like water down my opinion and shit until I get your vibe on it. Because I don't want to set you up to be disappointed based on my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that's really kind of fair across the board.
Yeah.
Except when you review things, and you have to have a strong opinion.
Right. But I think that like you know, if same thing, like if you tell me it's the shittiest thing ever, I'm like, no, it's not. You know, like I found myself what you're talking about with episode 5 of Mandalorian, I found myself doing with BVS all the time, where anybody who was saying it was great, I was telling them how it wasn't, and anybody who was saying it was trash, I was telling them how it wasn't.
Right.
You know, because I felt kind of in the middle of the road on it. You know, but I definitely relate to that. You know, and sometimes sometimes I feel that energy from you. Sometimes, like while we're sitting here talking, I'm like, man, this pushback is crazy. Like it's and I know you. Like it's like inconsistent. Like it's like I got Joe's defender sitting in front. You know what I mean? Like Joe's consciousness took a back seat and was like to the forefront, and like the defender ran up with like the spear out and was like, you know, like.
Is his defender? Is it Scarlett Johansson?
Yes, 1000%
in samurai armor.
When I was going
too much eye makeup on.
When I was going through the greatest hit stuff, that conversation about the Joker that we had is, I can tell, you can listen to your tone changes, and the defender steps in, and like. You start off with naming all these movies, right? And you're like this and this, like I love it, and this, and like you're like Casino, I love Casino, and then by the end of it, you're like I don't even like Casino. I'm like, well, wait, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah, that was a very.
But going back and listening to it, it's like there's a shift. It's like saying like for me, I notice I do it sometimes too, right? Where I'll be like, look, Civil War. Winter Soldier and Infinity War are great. Then everything else is some sort of variable of good, and then Iron Man 3 is trash. Is how I kind of generally view Marvel movies, right?
Right.
There's 3 great ones, there's 1 bad one, and everything else is a variable of good. Until we start getting into the shit. And then I'm like, you know what? Fucking Ant-Man's trash too. If it ain't great, it's all fucking like I fall like into like the internet mentality of like greatest movie ever, worst movie ever, and nothing else is allowed to enter in the conversation. You know?
It's funny you say that. Talking with the Enter the Realm guys, you know, we do, and you kind of sparked my thought of needing to do this. We always do a year-end kind of wrap-up. We do best and worst, and I said, let's just do best this year. Let's not do worse. Let's not put people's minds in that place. Don't worry about the worst thing. Tell us the best of these categories.
Yeah. No.
Makes sense.
And yeah, there's something to that. Sometimes the worst is fun. You know, sometimes that's a fun conversation. But
it's like Razzies. If it's that bad.
Well, part of it is I don't want to talk about bad third-party Transformers.
right.
I get enough of that every week anyway.
Well, I also think that, like, there is this, like, we all do it sometimes, but this shock value choice. Right,
yeah, unpopular opinions.
Yeah, but like, so for instance, I don't like of the 3 primes that are available, right? The MP44, the Magic Square, and the Transform Element. In terms of what I think are the best, etc. Overall, it goes MP44, MS. That's the only time I'll say that MS is good because MS is usually a bad thing.
You have to say big MS too, though.
We don't argue about that
because there's a little MS.
Yes, right. That's true. And then Transform Element. Now they're all good, but I can see myself being put in a pinch where, like, I feel like my back's against the wall, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know what the fucking worst figure of the year is? I'll tell you what it is. It's fucking this thing. How do you like that?"
Yeah,
you know, like you know, but I don't mean it. But you know the reaction it's gonna get, and you know that it's like okay, well, you want to fucking play for keeps? You want to try to hurt me? Let me tell you what I think of your fucking favorite. You know, like you know, and so I'm struggling a bit with that with The Mandalorian because everybody seems to be talking about this thing like it's the best Star Wars content ever created.
It's not.
It's not for me.
It's not, but it's the most digestible Star Wars content I think that's ever been created. Think about that.
I think part of it is
38 minutes or whatever. It's easy to sit down and watch it, and you can bullshit about it with your friends online.
And I think it's because you don't need to know anything else about Star Wars.
You really don't.
And I think it's safe.
It is very safe.
But it's not a bad introductory to people into Star Wars.
I don't disagree.
But look, I've said this before. And I'll say it again until I'm blue in the face, until the rubber hits the road and the smoke clears.
At the end of the day.
At 7 p.m., which makes no fucking sense. I will watch a Star Wars series about giving enemas to the Hutts because it's set in the Star Wars universe. Nobody
Twi'lek's doing it?
Nobody better. Actually, they're doing it, and they have them attached to their
that's
Lekus.
just bonus to me.
Look, Joe and we were all talking. Joe's definitely in his Star Wars bag right now.
Yeah.
I am too.
I'm enjoying.
But-
I'm living.
oh,
I'm
yeah,
just,
absolutely.
I'm just riding the boat.
But part of it
I'm
is
letting you
because
guys paddle for a bit.
part of it is because now I'm into the expanded. I'm into the Star Wars universe. I need that. I need the world.
Right.
Like
So-
I'm the more lore and history I'm getting. It's like how I'm into 40K. It's like, oh, there's all this history. Like I like Star Wars. I think different than you like Star Wars. I like the Force. I like the Jedi and whatever. But I'm looking up the theory of hyperdrives and hyperdrive lanes and and explore regions and outer rim and all that shit.
I bet he's getting into the outer rim.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I get in the inner room. You get the core and the mid room and the outer rim, and then you get the fucking unknown regions.
Rim?
Remember, I used to have to be like, is there a map? I know what the map looks like in my head
there's
now.
a map. Yeah.
I know where the fucking lanes go.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I just think like
So like now it's a real place to me. Before it was just abstract. Now it's a real place with real people in it.
Well, that was my question, Joe. Did prior to the past couple months, I'll say, was your experience with Star Wars? Disclude the fact that you know this crazy man over here. Was your experience with Star Wars that okay? There's movies and there's people that are fanatical about it.
Yes,
Probably the same way that like I don't understand why my family's so excited about JoJo. Because I just don't.
JoJo's amazing and bizarre,
right? But I'm not plugged in. I haven't taken the time to do pretty much what you're doing and delve into this world because it is a world. I mean, I love him or hate him, whatever. This is George Lucas's. I mean, I couldn't imagine he would ever think it would be this. This was his vision to create this world, this universe.
That's what he does well.
Yeah,
is world builds.
So
absolutely.
So like, I love it. I love all of it. And before it was always like dark side and light side. You know,
There's
Rebels,
so much more.
Rebels and Empire.
Yeah,
It's so much more. That's like almost a drop in the bucket compared to what the rest of the universe is doing.
Just to me, there's more to it than dark side, light side, always. But just in the sense that like, to me, the Sith is like, there's variable degrees of light side, dark side, right? Like like Kylo, right? Dark side, but he's not a Sith. Like the Sith are like this absolute pitch black dark. You know what I mean?
And,
where there's no light.
And see, that's why I need the clarifications on some of this legend stuff because like before I buy in completely as headcanon, I need to know whether I need to erase it later. I don't want to buy into some shit and have to erase it later. Like the thing right now, history wise, what I'm learning is that there was a Jedi, which was like a balance, and then like some fucking dark guy got real dark and they kicked him out. And then he fucking got banished.
This was when it was a species, right? Like
and the Sith, he went to the unknown regions, found a Sith, which was like naturally dark side affinity, dark side affinity, and then he took on the title of Sith, and then they had Sith Order, and then they came back,
and then there was the Sith species too.
Exactly. So like, but like in the beginning, the dark side guy wasn't even fucking evil. He got so mad that he got kicked out that he wants to fight back.
Right.
And then now they fucking nurture this hate for the Jedi.
Right. But that's why to me, like, you know, the conversations that we used to get into.
This is gonna be a Star Wars show.
Because you're
sorry, Wonder Woman. Sorry, Ghostbusters. There's trailers. We're gonna talk about Star Wars.
But like that's why to me, Anakin, with the destruction of the Emperor was, you know, 9 aside, right? If we rewind the clocks back a year, was the balance of the Force, because it's not about light and dark. Everybody has light and dark. It's just that the Sith are absolute dark.
And the Jedi was absolute light, but they're gone now.
No, but the Jedi were not absolute light. That's
they were trying to be.
They were trying to be, but they weren't. That's what I'm saying. Is that like there's no equal to how there's no equal light to how dark the Sith are.
Let me ask you this, Bobby. Nobody thinks they're the bad guy. Do the Sith think they're the bad guy?
I don't think so.
I mean, the Empire brought in a time of peace and whatever.
Yeah, I don't think so.
To the galaxy.
I really don't think so. I think that that they view the Jedi as the bad guys. You know, they really do. You know, I think there's, you know, not all
to
Sith.
me, the Jedi are evil.
Then you are lost. I think that like there's variables, right? Like there's some Sith that are more into the selfish nature of it, and then there are some Sith that aren't as much. But it's just saying that like Mace, like especially in the EU and stuff, like he used to fight with the dark side. Like the dark side was like always nipping at his heels.
That's why he used Form 7.
Correct. So yeah,
and that's why his lightsaber is purple, because it's like red and blue at the same time.
So
Star Wars.
So there's like an example of a Jedi not being absolute light, and I don't think any of them were absolute light. They were just trying to lean on the lighter side of the Force as much as possible. The goal was to reach absolute light, but they never could because we're all inherently kind of good and evil.
What Yoda didn't learn that there was 900 when we went to learn how to become a Force ghost. So like we gotta accept and embrace the darkness. Because when he was trying to fight it in the Shadow Realm or whatever,
right?
He was like, "You don't exist." It was when he said, "You do exist, but I'm in control of you."
Right.
Then he brought balance to himself.
Right. So like. But the Sith are like a cancer. The Sith are just absolute. And they also,
but I guess the absolute Sith, because like, that's varying degrees, right? Because Dooku was a Sith at the end, but he was still not like absolute evil, right?
I don't know. I don't know because
because he was. I know the argument. He wants to overthrow the Empire at the end of the day and have a peaceful galaxy.
Yes, but I mean, I think that even Palpatine wants a peaceful galaxy.
But he did get it.
Yeah, he just wants to sit at the head of it and have all roads lead to him.
And then have a contingency where if he dies, and he goes and burn it all down.
Yeah.
That's where First Order comes in.
Yeah.
Was that still canon?
What? I mean,
that was part of the game.
Yeah, that was part of the game. The Cinder, Operation Cinder.
Yeah, he started burning down all the planets.
Yeah, but I don't know exactly how the First Order comes from that.
Well, he sent all his most trusted people that weren't infighting to the... whatever, the Forgotten Realms, or the unknown regions to get back together and form. And then they met Snoke and then built up power, and then now they're back.
Hey, I'm Hux. I'm Snoke.
I mean, Hux's dad.
Nice to meet you.
Hux's dad was some big guy.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
I can talk about Star Wars through my house, so we better get to
let me get to my nerd week so I can talk about Star Wars.
Do you have anything else?
I don't think so. I think it's just more Star Wars notes.
Okay. Well, I do have one non-Star Wars note. I watched.
That's what I did. I
watched a lot
Star Wars first.
This was just so bizarre, and I think it was on Netflix. We were just literally scrolling through to find something to watch, and landed on this. My mom was up. She watches basically the Cooking Network or whatever, Food Network all day. That's all she watches. So it was on at the house, and we've just kind of it was background noise. So I saw this. It's called The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell. I thought it was like a baking show. It's something else. There's puppets, and it's like they got this kind of horror theme to it. She never really shows you how to make anything. Everything they make, they break, or it's very strange.
It's entertaining though.
It's entertaining in a what the fuck is happening kind of vibe. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch any more of that. I watched episode 3. Couple things.
We're gonna start watching 1 through 8.
Yeah. So one question: did Palpatine just have that suit laying around?
Which one?
Vader's suit.
No, he built it out of the worst shit possible. That's the lore, right?
Right, that's the lore. But I mean, literally, is that? Hey, it's the Corellian Mach 7 suit now available for dismembered and disjoined.
I think he built it like that and there.
They just had it around.
You know about the deleted scene, right?
I don't know.
I talked about it recently on Force Sensitive, but when he's brought up, and where is Padme? Is she alive? Is she all right? No, I'm afraid in your anger you killed her. But then he continues with, where are my legs? Are they alive? Where is my arm as well? I'm missing that. And the Emperor can't account for all of his parts.
And that's when he screams no.
Yeah, then he screams no. That never happens, but in my head canon, it happens.
Didn't. There's a lot of heartbreaking shit in that movie that I haven't watched it in a while. And I wasn't really I had it on literally on my phone, and I was just kind of listening to it, but I stopped and watched it a couple times.
I got to talk about that for a minute.
And I have more questions.
Okay. Well, I have a question. I have another question. I think that may lead to some stuff we'll see in the future. But go ahead.
What I love about Episode 3, and it reminds me of something that I feel like Star Wars needs and doesn't always get the opportunity to do, but I feel like 3 does it, I feel like 4 does it, and I feel like 8 does it, is allow a moment to breathe. Like when Anakin and Padme are looking at each other from across the city, when not looking at each other, but just looking towards the building of one another from it's just music and just them.
Dude,
like that's fucking Star Wars. Like
same.
that's what
Same.
that shit is about. Like when Luke looks at the sun
Sunset,
and doesn't say a
so
fucking thing.
Fucking iconic.
I had that same thought. So it's when you stay here at the temple, we're going to go handle this. And Mason, the unfortunate dead, go to the
best
3 of his best troops.
three of the guys that happen to be
Just
there.
any 3 guys. Will do.
Hey, you just got that lightsaber yesterday. Come on, let's go. Don't turn it on though. Let this very old man spin around in positions.
The one guy didn't even have a robe. He was like, "Oh fuck, well, we can't go. They're not even going to respect you. You don't have one of these. Let me throw one of these on you." I know, I know you're new. I know you're new.
But the same thing, that beat they take while Anakin's just pondering what he's going to do is so powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful.
And the other one that springs to mind in 8 is when Leia looks out across the salt lands. Like she's got that cape thing that covers her face, and she just looks out and looks at like she's trying to get a game plan together for what's going to happen.
1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. It's like Star Wars needs those moments to just let you be there for just a second without any 7 to me is the antithesis of that. 7 is the one that just you get in the fucking truck and you put your fucking foot to the floor and you go for 2 hours. You know, but you need that moment to just stop and breathe for a second.
So one of the most heartbreaking parts to me was once the children are born, Padme's died. Jimmy Smits says, my wife and I have always talked about adopting a baby girl. How did that go when he got home? Hey, honey, you remember that one time 14 years ago when you were drunk and you said you wanted a baby?
He's like, look, you're not going to believe this, but I just adopted this. Oh, you fucking better have. Just let me see some paperwork.
This isn't like the last time.
We're bringing home some
Jimmy Smits.
Bring home some fucking illegitimate kid. You can turn this house into a house of lies.
But here goes Leia going to basically live on.
Be a princess.
Yeah, and I looked at some maps. Alderaan's really, really close to Coruscant. It's literally the fact that they blew up. I don't know. It holds more of a statement in my head knowing where it is, but. The other side of that's so heartbreaking is Obi-Wan's like, I'm going to take him to Tatooine and I'm going to hang around.
Hang out with the sand peoples.
Native Tatooiners.
But what did Yoda tell him he should work on while he's there?
Communing.
Who has recently become
Qui-Gon.
So what do we have coming up soon?
Hopefully.
We have
And Qui-Gon is the first Jedi Force Ghost, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Well, we have never seen him as one.
They didn't know about Force Ghosts in Clone Wars.
Right. If he's not, he's the first one to come back and talk to that generation.
Yeah, Yoda's been alive for 900 years, and when he was like, I think I'm talking to the dead, everyone was like, you're fucking losing your mind, old man. Go get his brain checked out.
Yeah.
You know that episode of Clone Wars, I think it's in the bonus where Yoda goes and talks to those creatures. That was the basis for Lucas's 7, 8, 9 was those things.
Oh, okay. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be that, but it was for that episode on how.
No, it's interesting sauce. I don't need 3 movies of that sauce, but
no.
Yeah, I agree.
So, watched Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. Watched I think 3 times, 2.5 probably. Yeah, I actually didn't get to finish it. So a couple things. Everybody calls him Mando. Mm-hmm. Do you just call all Mandalorians Mando because you don't know their names? How does this work?
I would imagine that Mando is a term used for them generally, but you don't often get to meet more than one, if one.
At that time with the universe.
But it's just so casual. Hey, Mando. What's up, man? Just waiting on him to say, yeah, what's up? You got some weed? Yeah, man, hold on. Here you go. That's the kind of vibe you get.
I mean, I guess in the universe with a lot of different species. Like if someone say, "Hey, Twilight," like in your Twilight, you turn around, right?
I guess. I don't know.
And he's like the only Mando.
It's the casualness of it that comes across as very casual.
I'll tell you. We can talk about that episode when we get to have our Star Wars segments. We don't have any other Star Wars news except for I did want to talk to you guys because we took bets on how many TV spots it was going to have, and I said 30. It's at 20.
Is it really? Yeah. Different ones?
Yes.
Nice. Jesus, I had no idea. So I do have a note. Well, I'll save it for that. But 2 things I wanted to ask. What do you guys think about the opening that they're doing at the beginning of these with the the faces with the lightsaber.
I hate it.
Rolling
I said that since the first time we watched it. Since the first time we watched it, I'm like,
it doesn't have like the like like the Marvel one, the DC one, even the
Fast and Furious one.
Of course, I was just on my tip of my tongue. But there's
I don't know if there. I don't think there is one, but they should. They should at this point.
It's just a submarine with a bazooka glued to the side of it.
That's what the Rock painted green for no reason.
For so much visually cool marketing stuff that they have done for Star Wars, it seems like they let the ET
intern,
like the intern do it or something. You know? It's not my favorite.
So my last thing of the week would be, you guys might remember that. I know, Bobby, you probably remember this. Remember how big a deal fan films were when there wasn't any content coming out?
Mm-hmm. So they still are great.
I watched
Warhammer has fucking amazing fan films.
Let's stay in our lane here, Joe. I'm talking about Star Wars. So I
watched. Hey man, I'm seeing a lot of similarities with Warhammer, but because 40K got a lot of inspiration from a lot of franchises in the 80s, but I think it's part of my buy-in to Star Wars is because there's so much similarities I can adapt.
It was one of my buy-ins to 40K. I was like, who are these guys and why do they look like fucking stormtroopers?
Right.
So I watched. Kelly'd never seen Troops. Remember that one? It's kind of like it was like cops set on Tatooine.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It ends up being. Have you ever seen that one? You should watch.
Oh yeah, we're talking about fan films.
Where they die at the end or whatever. And then I watched one called Bucketheads, and I watched another one called Odyssey. Yeah, that's the three I watched. And I watched this weird. It said it was some weird cut somebody made, a new Rogue from Rogue One to A New Hope, and it showed like the end of Rogue One and the beginning
of
but in between there, it had all this footage that they had just literally spliced and cut together and lined voices up. It was awful. That part was. But that's actually how I stumbled upon that stuff again. I used to watch those. I remember downloading like Troops. I don't know, AOL back in the day.
Oh, jeez.
Where I fall down the YouTube rabbit hole with Star Wars is the kind of like saga montages that people put together.
Oh yeah, with the good music.
Oh, dude, I'm like hit me that.
But the one with the lightsaber got me.
That one,
episode 8.
The one with the fucking, and then sometimes like the other, like the Kaufland grocery store commercial.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one fucks you up.
It shit fucks me up. like I don't even like watching that shit in front of people. Like, hold on, I'm gonna go in the bathroom real quick and watch it.
Catch your emotions.
Dude, when he answers the door and the music hits and it's her as Leia and the dog is Chewie, I'm fucking done. Done. But yeah, like I could watch any, those where like the troops come home and like, I'm like, oh man, it's fucking moving. Like, good for them and their families. But you put that fucking Kaufland shit on, I'm fucking oh fuck, look at him, he's crying. Like,
one last point that I
real quick, I don't mean to cut you off and let you finish. I only said that to say this. There's one for Ahsoka that's fucking phenomenal.
I want to watch it after I finish Rebels because I know she's in it.
Yes, and it deals heavily with the Rebel stuff. It's called He Was My Master.
Oh, I watched that before.
Oh, dude.
There's an Obi-Wan. There's kind of the story of Obi-Wan too.
I haven't seen that one.
This is gonna have to be episode 224. Episode 224, a Star Wars story.
That works. Oh, that's what they're doing. All these fan films, it's like Odyssey, a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
They do that. And I know back in the day, Lucas provided, like, you could go to their website and it's like, hey, here's shots you can use. You can use any of this shit you want.
I like that about
music. He's got the, the sound effects. You can, like, the ships, they Photoshop the ships in and they look pretty good.
That comes to the conversation from before the show. That was the greatness and the downfall of that universe building. Is that anyone can fucking throw their hat in.
Right.
And there's no fucking continuity.
Yeah,
but now at least there is a canon.
Also, the checks and balances of quality.
Yeah,
like I mean, all of this shit, dude.
Coruscant Nights.
I'm gesturing to.
He's gesturing towards the novel trilogy Coruscant Nights. Joe, you might enjoy it. You could probably get through it before Bobby ever.
Gesturing to all of the written media.
I'm actually interested in the Saj one. If you have it,
I do. There's varying levels of quality, and some are tremendous, and like there's this like little things like there was this one book like I wish that they would throw back in, like there was this one book called Tatooine's Ghost, right, where story not that great, but one moment that's super fucking cool is R2 and Luke are on Tatooine. They're on some fucking mission, and Luke is like asking all these questions, and R2 just starts playing shit from the prequels, like shit that he was present for, and it comes out that R2 has been documenting everything.
Yeah, I mean Almost
He's
to
in
a
every
fault.
single series.
Almost to a fault. This story is about that little droid.
Yeah.
Because he's been in everything.
Didn't that someone say that the whole story is through his eyes?
Through him and 3PO.
But that's also why he's so fucking smart and powerful because like he never gets wiped. All droids just get wiped regularly.
Right.
He never gets wiped.
Because they don't think an astromech is anything but a tool.
But he has all the information ever on everything, including where Luke was.
Yeah, wipe this.
But he's been scanning like and recording, and he plays Luke the whole story, so Luke gets to know what we know. Which is
That's
fucking
pretty cool,
you know. But then there's other ones where they fight, you know, Cobra Law for fucking 19 books, you know, and
Yuuzhan Vong. I listened to that book series.
Yeah.
I listened to it.
I would love
Star Wars bag.
I wonder if the Sash book is an audiobook. I like listening to audiobooks.
but that's the book right there. It's right.
I should probably get on my audiobook vibe again because
it's good. I mean, if you're gonna listen to anything,
stuff
anyway.
in the shop, yeah,
and they do sound effects and shit now, and music,
and different people
pew,
voicing.
pew, pew. I want somebody to do it like pew pew pew. pew
So, back to episode 3.
yeah, I have a episode 3 point.
Yeah.
So
if
is
I
it
remember.
still?
Oh, yeah.
It's still canon. Like the Emperor purposely gave him the shittiest cybernetics, so that he stays in pain and it's not as powerful as could be, right?
I don't know.
Because because that's part of the lore I was listening to. Is like, well, his actual prosthetic arm he had before was better than all the shit he got now, and that's why he's always in pain. And also, like, he's less powerful than Empire, even though he could have been if he was whole in body, because he's less midichlorians now. I don't hate the midichlorians. The more I learn about them, and like the more is in the lore, I'm like, okay, I'm buying in.
Well, so that's how I kind of get with all of Star Wars, right? Like the stuff that I don't like, I end up just finding some way to mind fuck myself into accepting it.
I mean, what's the difference if you're born with midichlorians or born with greater touch with the Force that you can't measure? Regardless, you were born with it, something that you can't change. Really, you can make the best.
No. See, the thing was, it wasn't always born with it, though. It wasn't always born with it. It like
molded by it.
There was it used to be that, like, you know, the force moved through you the same way it moves through me, and it's how much I'm want to kind of nurture that. It's not necessarily.
But you have a limit, right? Everyone has a different limit.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
That's how I'm seeing the midichlorian as. That's your potential,
right? But that wasn't there, is what I'm saying. So like
that wasn't there till episode 1.
So before that, it was just, you know, who knows how powerful anybody could get. It's there's no inherent ceiling, and my ceiling isn't necessarily different than yours. So like. I wonder,
because an untrained person, even with super high midichlorian count, could just not be very good.
Correct, and vice versa.
Yeah,
you know. So but that's how I sort it out in my head too. But I think that there's like you know, and not to get on my 8 soapbox again, but it's Broom 1 Kenobi, right, or Broom Buffett at the end of episode 8 when he reaches for the fucking broom, like he doesn't. I don't think in my head he doesn't know that he has the Force. It's just like the same way you would reach for a drink if you were thirsty.
Intuitive.
Yeah. And
like Ezra was doing that.
Right. And it flies into his hand, and it's only because he believes that he can now. And I think it's actually metaphorical for us as a generation. I often want to talk to like prequel kids about that shit, like growing up with the midichlorian complex. I'm going to name it. I
don't know, but like,
because like
it makes sense because not everyone can be. There's Force sensitives,
right.
So obviously they are not Force sensitives, right?
So well, it's just like shitty superpowers, right?
But
right?
Even Force sensitives and all that shit. I feel like that's post prequels.
So before that, anybody can
theoretically,
but like.
But like,
I don't know. It never made sense to me.
See, that comes to me like Han Solo is like, he's never going to be that guy. That's not how the pistons fire in his heart. You know, like he's never going to be like, he would feel like he would be an idiot to waste his time reaching across the room for his blaster. No, I'm gonna put that shit right on my leg. Mm-hmm. Just in case
really low.
Yeah, just in case I need it.
Like Gary said.
Yeah, it's gonna be right here. So like, so I often want to talk to prequel kids because like I know when I was like when I was in school, I remember reaching for a pencil.
I still reach for them.
That was across the room, you know? But, like, I wonder if kids had that because they're like, oh, I probably wasn't born with a midichlorian, so I'm not even going to bother. You know what I mean? And that's the magic of Star Wars because Star Wars shouldn't be...
But that's not, I don't think that's true because, like, you still play mutants, you know, even though you're not a mutant.
Yeah, but I feel like you play mutants when you don't know whether or not. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you play mutants when you're a teenager. It's like, fuck, that shit could kick in at any day now.
True.
You know what I mean?
The right thing. Yeah, like, the right punch to the back of the head's gonna make me have claws pop out of my hands.
Like, I wonder if you know, I do, but I think that now it's kind of greatly being undone. That like it can be anybody. You know, it's like,
well, that's the opposite side of the double-edged sword.
Unlike the Darksaber, which is my favorite.
Darksaber's badass. The other side of that is there's so much knowledge now you can't infer anything that this is the way it is, like midichlorians, which I think they got mentioned in episode 1, and Palpatine mentions that Plagueis manipulated
the midichlorians.
That's the only other reference there is in the whole series. So
and Anakin was going to be more powerful than the Emperor if he had his arms and legs.
Yes, and I think that what he was hinting at, I think that what George was kind of hinting at with the idea of manipulating midichlorians, because episode 3, I really think is him trying to undo a lot of things that he maybe feels like he shouldn't have done for the first 2. And when he says that, he manipulated the midichlorians, it's like, okay, well now the dynamics have changed.
Yeah, you can change it.
Yeah, because now it's not set in stone.
You can put your spoon in the salt.
But it also makes sense now how they found kids, because they have the holocron with everyone's health records, basically, so they can go snatch babies.
Is there no HIPAA in this universe?
There's no.
There's no HIPAA.
These religious fanatics just go snatch your babies if they want.
I mean, that's literally what it is.
And brainwash them to not have any emotions.
Hide your kids, hide your wives.
Yeah.
And also, like, episode 3, when those guys get cut down by Palpatine, now we joke the best 3 guys.
Oh yeah.
But like
with the corkscrew attack,
listening to the the lore people, they're like, well, it's because your view has been skewed. You've been following Luke and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and Mace and Yoda, the most powerful of the powerful.
That's a good point.
The average Jedi, the thousands of them are just fucking the average. Yeah, they're fine.
So a good analogy for that would be, I mean, there's I don't know however many college football players right now. Mm-hmm. But ain't none of them getting paid until they go to the pros. And what's the percentage? So what's the percentage of, let's say that Jedis are college football players and pro football players are Jedi Masters?
Right. It's 5%, 4% or whatever.
Yeah, so we were raised to think all Jedis are like fucking Obi-Wan.
Right.
I was.
Right.
I thought it was
I think that's
Jedis.
legit.
Holy shit. But then no. Especially on, whatchamacall.
It's not accounting for raw talent.
They had 200 Jedis. Like 190 of them died in the fucking arena.
Yeah.
Oh.
It would have been a bunch of droids.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
But the ones who lived were Mace and Obi-Wan and
but some of them were. Kid Fisto lived.
Kid Fisto is not weak. He fought against Grievous.
Yeah, but he's one of the ones that gets taken out in fucking Sidious's chambers.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was him.
I hate the way that scene is cut. I just it leaves
I mean,
you
it just looks like he has
lacking.
all the time in the world to
Yeah.
just be like, and you get a death, and you get a death.
If they had
and you get
showed
a
it
death.
in slow motion, honestly, I think it might have come across.
I remember
a little
seeing
better.
that trailer and seeing him hit that corkscrew.
Spin move,
Like it was
yeah.
like, oh,
Like Bison.
my. Like even when he had that when the lightsaber flew down,
and it's treason.
like
And he was badass in Clone Wars. He had the same little wrist action, but
Yeah.
his fighting was very fucking awesome. He was
Yeah.
just laughing the whole time.
yeah,
Him fighting Maul.
I am the Senate.
I am all the way at the bottom of the Star Wars bag right now.
Yeah,
I like it.
So, and then this is
go
probably
ahead. Yeah, go
probably come up on. So, and I don't know why this made me think of this, but in episode 4, what does Luke say to Ben that he thought his dad did? He was a navigator on a spice freighter, right?
Oh yeah.
What is spice in this world?
Drugs.
Who's a fucking drug mule? How is that better than being a fucking Jedi? Uncle Owen, you couldn't have come up with anything else.
Well, I
He's
guess they
working
just-
as
Jedi's are illegal.
Yeah, and
I mean, in the sense that they will get hunted down and killed.
and Jedi's with kids, super. Oh, I know who that one is.
Well, I guess you're right. But of all the lies, but of all the constructive lies you could have told somebody,
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
he was a drug mule,
Well-
putting up his ass and everything.
well-
But
So-
it makes sense that it gets detached. Like, don't worry about your daddy. That was a piece of shit.
But not only
Fair.
that, but I don't think the Lars fucking fuck with him. You know, like I think the Lars would be like, yeah, like he's a fucking scum of the earth, your father. Like,
He left and became a piece
yeah,
of shit.
and not only that, when he came around, they didn't like him. Like
he
was an
killed
asshole.
sand people.
He was an asshole when he
The
was an asshole
women
to
and
them.
children. Like animals.
I love though when episode 2 is another one of those little quiet beats, man. But when he comes back carrying his mother and he just looks at him, just looks at him like you could have,
They couldn't have.
you could have.
They definitely couldn't have.
But in his mind, in his mind,
not even close.
in his mind, you know, he's like you could have tried.
Yeah,
I found him in one fucking day.
Well, here's another question.
Yeah, but he didn't use the Force to find her.
Theoretically,
here's another fucking Jawas ratted him
Yeah,
out.
he asked the Jawas.
he could convince the Jawas.
Maybe. Dude, I wish they would have shown that scene. Be like, no, motherfucker, look, I will cut you into fucking 15,000 pieces and mail a piece of you to every fucking planet if you don't fucking give me the answer.
I don't know. That whole, like, why... Yes, and people are mean or whatever, but...
You can
shoot them.
Yeah.
But why did you come back in greater numbers?
That's right. Yeah, in single file.
Yes.
To hide those numbers.
Hide those numbers.
God, Star Wars.
Yeah, dude.
Imperial Blast.
That's what I'm trying to tell you guys,
like,
man.
I'm just keep flip-flopping about how I feel about Anakin because sometimes watching Clone Wars, he's just a fucking dickhead. I'm like, no, he's a good guy. He fucking cares about his people.
Mannequin.
He's married to me now because you could say that
he's only one of the few people who cares about the drill. The fucking clones.
The reason why he's so bad at what he's doing is because he's the individual of best character in that organization.
And I think,
but the killing of the younglings, that's the drill.
Well, that was after that.
I know.
Yeah,
but like for me, there's no redemption after that. I don't care if he killed the Empire after. Like there was no redemption for me. Like he doesn't get to have a redemption after killing a fucking room full of little kids.
So, you ever been in a room full of little kids, Joe?
I want to kill them, but I haven't.
I always wanted this one scene, man, like this like extra scene to that beat where like he turns the lightsaber on. And then you just see like a whole bunch of fucking those little helmets just go shooting out of the fucking door, like and spinning around and shit, like,
or just a silhouette of just fucking.
That'd probably been a bit much, but I think just the helmets getting kicked out of the door.
Man, that scene of that one kid just kind of jerks back when he turns on the saber. It's like, oh fuck,
Master Anakin, there's too many of them. Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do? Well, I'll tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna get down or lay down. Is what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So there's no redemption for me. Like there's a point of no return. That's why I stopped giving a fuck about Magneto. Like, and depends on what media. Like after a certain point, I don't care. You don't get to be redeemed.
There's a scene in a comic. They're great. These they're down there. You see they're
Are they canon?
I don't know. Well, you know how canon works now. They're canon unless they're not. But like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the different color codes across the bottom. They're called Star Wars Tales, and they're just little short stories, like 4 or 5 pages of stories compiled into these volumes. Most of them terrible. However, there are some jewels in there.
Yeah.
And there's this one where
what happened to her anyway?
The singer?
Dreams last for so long, even after you're gone.
This playlist is not going to be rocking. So look, the
Star Wars music. Jewel.
There was this one thing where they had the Emperor had Maul and Vader fight one another. I don't remember the logistics of how he worked that out, but it happens, right? And Maul and Vader are going after it, and Maul is like, "You can't beat me. You can't beat me because you don't. What could you possibly hate more than how I hate?" And Vader goes, "Myself."
Oh, that makes me like him a little more right now. I'm about that self-hate.
There's another one in there of how Vader gives like how Chewie gets all the fucking 3PO's parts. Mm-hmm. Vader sets that up.
Oh,
like he comes across the parts and he's like, send it to the Wookiee. Like orders it.
Oh, my question about him is why didn't he replace his fucking cybernetics with some shit better? He's like high up in the chain of command. He could go somewhere and be like, "Hey man, give me some better arms and legs."
Yeah, I don't know.
He's punishing himself.
Yeah,
what he thinks he did.
Maybe.
How many percentage of our listeners have we lost so far? I don't think 100% of our listeners are Star Wars fans.
No.
So that other than Mando talk, that's me.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, the title of this should warn people. You should also put a timestamp when we stop talking about Star Wars.
So I'll get into my nerd week. Watched a ton of shit. First and foremost, I want to say, in spite of the conversation that we had earlier about hype, I'm going to probably do everybody an injustice by saying this. I watched The Irishman twice now, and it's 3.5 hours long.
7 hours of life, bro.
It is the best movie I have seen 10 years.
Golden Globe nominations came out this morning. Mm-hmm. So best motion picture for drama, Irishman, Joker, and then 3 movies I've never heard of.
Uh-huh.
The Two Popes, Marriage Story, 1917.
Laura and I were talking about our top 10 movies of all time.
Scorsese, but I'll watch this. There are time to do it.
There are themes that will always hit me. And the odds against you now are not speaking to these themes. They're insurmountable. If you speak to certain themes with me, you're going to have me. It's the reason why I love Winter Soldier. Like, if you speak to loyalty, you speak to brotherhood, you're going to have me. This movie speaks to that theme, but makes, in my opinion, possibly the most interesting ultimatum. Like, you know, do you kill one to save 1,000? But I mean, this is a story of Frank Sheeran. Are you familiar at all with this individual?
Is that Ed Sheeran's father?
God, I hope so. He didn't have any boys, though.
His grandfather.
Fine.
No, tell me why I would know him.
He's a famous gangster, like of Charlie Luciano.
Wait a minute. Scorsese made a gangster movie?
I know. I should have sat you down.
With who? Who is the cast?
So this guy has...
This guy...
I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but he has made a claim for as long as I can remember, like, who did this? Frank Sheeran says he did it. And then other people said he's full of shit, but Frank Sheeran says he did it. So it's about him. And I don't think that this will spoil anything, but it raises the question of, if you have to be loyal to your brother or loyal to your father, and you can only be loyal to one, who are you loyal to? Because being loyal to one directly betrays the other.
Yeah, that's tough.
Whoever you likes more. It's easy.
You love them both.
Well, it goes back to the discussion of comparing loves. Like when I asked, like, if you can only save one of your kids, wouldn't you save? That's a hard question.
Yeah.
But like for me, I don't have any kids, so I would think I can pick one. But like I remember you and Laura's answer was like, I guess we'll all die. That's what the answer. I'm like, that's awful. That's not what Thanos is about.
I mean, there's so many variables in there to discuss, to figure out.
Well, you don't have a split second, basically. Like, fucking that shit about the collapse. You gotta grab one of them. You know.
Oh well, I
wonder.
Was using his...
Oh yeah, but I'm saying like you. I would think, because I can definitely pick between relationships. You know, of a hierarchy. It might be terrible for me to say or have, but I have a hierarchy of who's more important to me than others.
I think I can too, to a certain extent. But then there are others.
I feel like you're gonna save your wife before any of your kids. You say you can make more kids.
Yeah, I mean, I say that. You know, that's just some shit I say.
I know.
I just be saying shit, Joe.
I just talk.
I'm like a dog chasing cars. Wouldn't know what to do with when I've actually caught it. But I think that, like, there are some where I don't know. You know, there are some that I don't know, and I can't place every relationship. Like, I can't prioritize every relationship.
I think you have too many. Well, not too many. You have a good amount of relationship where I don't.
that may be true, but like
I had to pick between 5 things. It's much easier than picking between 20 things.
See, my thing is like there's kind of like.
Oh, you gotta. Me or Chris has got to leave.
There's
don't answer that.
See, but there's the perfect example though, where like picking between you two is like picking between Jane and Selena. It's like it's like it's a different branch.
We ain't got no branches on this family tree.
Oh, I bet.
There you go, straight up.
I bet. It's just
don't taint this gene pool.
I heard that most of them in Alabama are just stumps.
Yeah, never really gets off the ground.
Ugh.
Anyway, that I can't like. It's either like, all right, so you're part of my like nuclear family, like my wife and my kids. Right? There's that. Then there's people I love, and then there's people I like. Then there's people I'm indifferent towards, and then there's
acquaintances,
and then there's the rest. I can't. When it comes down to like picking people that I love
within the same realm,
right? I can't like or like pick in between, like, you know, having to be loyal to either my wife or my kid. But this movie, this story forces this individual to make that decision, and what's complicated about it is that, regardless of his decision, it's like, if I help Chris, I'm going to hurt you. Mm-hmm. And if I help you, I'm going to hurt Chris. And I have to make a decision. But whatever I do is not only picking one over, it's directly hurting the other.
Is that how you felt when we had Brofest?
That is, dude. That's why I stayed at home and watched The Irishman and cried.
I told you.
I told you.
I was kidding. I'm kidding.
I know.
I love hearing you guys hang out.
We should have live streamed the whole thing.
You guys hanging out this week or what?
I don't know. We hadn't talked about it.
You guys getting together?
We hadn't talked about it.
We're going to do it regularly, I think.
Yeah.
Good, man. Lose my number, too.
You come yelling at us over on the shop vac for 4 hours.
I do. I'll tell you what. This is going to sound crazy. I enjoy vaping at your house.
Why?
I don't know.
That's a very specific thing.
Yep. It's something about the ambiance of your house. It makes me feel at ease. And I
It's
feel
very
like,
homey.
Yeah. I just feel like relaxing, vaping.
It's because there's just shit everywhere.
No.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
My house got picked up very well before Joe came over, didn't it?
I don't care. My house is not picked up. It's the weirdest thing. People care about their own houses being picked up when guests come than the guests, usually.
Yeah,
That's how I
for
feel.
1,000%.
I give no fucks if your sink is full of dishes.
Yeah,
'Cause
1,000%.
My sink's full of dishes too. Shit.
But let me think what else I did. So I watched The Irishman twice. I love it. It might be in my top 10 films of all time. It's too early to tell, but like, there's also something about dude like
We
this.
only have episode 9.
I do. Real quick, I have a question. Was that so? I just mentioned the Golden Globe stuff. Did that get like a 2-day theatrical run somewhere just to qualify for this shit? Is that how that works?
So it had a theatrical release in select theaters November 1st,
okay,
and it ran until Thanksgiving. Where
I didn't know it was even out like wide.
it may not have been around here because it was select theaters.
I only seen like 2 people talk about it on my Facebook page.
So like, I mean, it's
Other than Bobby.
yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal. Like, it's getting all sorts of accolades and everything else.
I mean, like
it's-
to the
to general public.
yeah, that's what I mean,
not
to
to
general
maybe
public.
not to your news feed, but
No.
you know what I mean.
No, that's what I'm asking. Like, cause like when you say like it's getting all kinds of accolades, sometimes it's just fucking award shows and stuff that cares. Nobody else fucking
Well,
cares.
one of the things that's a problem.
I'm assuming people do care. Because
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
Scorsese.
people are talking
Yeah.
about it like on the street kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's water cooler talk.
Hey!
Right? Yeah.
You seen this movie?
So another thing is it deals with, like we were talking about Frank Sheeran, Russ Buffalino, like Philly.
Wow, name is Star Wars name right there.
Yeah, Philly guys, which I feel like we don't get a lot of.
No,
Like, we don't.
you don't.
You know, everything is New York. Or
I'll be honest. When Beanie Siegel came out, I was like, "Oh, shit's fucked up in Philly too." Because I did not. I mean, living, in Alabama.
Yeah, but like New York and gangster shit, and then Capone in Chicago, and I feel like that's all we ever really get. Where like there was shit in Philly and Jersey and Kansas City.
Well,
and
Any city, basically.
a
right?
lot of them.
Sopranos put Jersey on the map as far as the consciousness of shit
Yes,
going
but that
down.
was fictional.
Right.
You know,
right.
I'm talking about like the true stories. Like, like I was thinking about, like I was talking to Laura about it. I was like this movie is long overdue. Like this story is a big deal story, and it's never been told, and it's long overdue. And I was like, where's the Sam Giancana story or John Connor, whatever the fuck his name is, the guy who
We have we have several John Connor movies.
do we?
Where the Terminator comes back to save him. Too many, some might say.
Giancana.
What?
That's the guy's name. It's Sam Giancana.
Oh, I didn't. That's how much in the know I am.
But
I thought
supposedly,
like Sam and John Connor. Oh, Sam and John and Connor.
But supposedly he killed Kennedy. He was.
Oh, okay, okay.
He was the guy behind the Kennedy killing, and like we don't get that movie. Like there's all these stories. So I'm just happy that. But The Irishman also another beautiful thing about it, real quick. It takes its time. I mean, it's 3.5 hours.
Hours.
It takes its time, but like there's an element in there about aging, and it's like not only is that in there, but the characters age in the movie, and these great actors are together aging. Aged. In this movie.
And this is probably the last time they'll do anything together in their lives.
My only critique of it is a 9 out of 10 for me, or A minus.
Okay, that's why I need it.
My only critiques of it are the end is a little long. Like after the climax, there's a little bit of Return of the King going on. But much
Got to
like
go back to our Hobbit holes, right?
But much like Return of the King, I do feel like it has objectively earned it. So like I'm like I get why you would go this way, but it is a bit long. My second critique. A lot of them are de-aged throughout it, which looks good in the face. but they're de-aged on their bodies, which looks good most of the time. But no spoilers. There's a scene where Robert De Niro is kicking the shit out of some guy, and it looks like an 80-year-old man with a young man's face on it kicking the shit out of some guy.
So they should have used a body double
for that scene.
Hey, Ray Liotta, your face is shit now. What are you doing? Can you kick?
So like,
you were in gangster movies.
You know, I'd put up on my Instagram that I was like, this is probably movie of the year for me. You know, it would be very difficult for 9 I might love more, but it's apples and oranges. Do you know what I mean?
That goes back to that conversation of, do superhero movies need to be in the same category as Scorsese movies, and to his point, chagrin or whatever.
Yeah.
For Academy Awards or what, if you give a shit about that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, this is a great story and it's a great cinematic climax to this 40-year story. But does it necessarily need to be in this part?
And something objectively good or bad has nothing to do with how enjoyable it is.
No.
Right.
That's like Mandalorian is very enjoyable, but objectively, I don't think it's that great.
Right.
Hashtag fun romp.
Yeah. So, I think that so I made a post about it. This guy hits me up on my DMs. He's like, "Oh, it has all these flaws, blah blah blah." And I was like, "All right, what's better than it though this year?" And he's like, "Well, it has," and he like goes into more criticisms. I'm like, "Yeah, but what is better?" And he's like, "Well, probably nothing." Like, okay, then let's fucking.
Even the bad things, if everything else is worse, is still the best.
Yeah, but this is.
It's not.
It's a fucking masterpiece. But enough about The Irishman. I love it. I've been listening to the theme of it by Robbie Robertson for pretty much all week. It's fucking amazing. And when I get out of my car and I walk into the building where I work and I'm listening to that song, I feel like I'm walking a little different. I feel like it's one of those songs. Let's see what else. I watched Brooklyn's Finest. I've seen it before. Don Cheadle, Ethan Hawke, and
You've
Richard
talked
Gere.
about that before. I've never seen it.
Yeah,
sounds like a good cast.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. It's about these 3 cops in Brooklyn, and they're at different stages in their career and how their paths sort of intersect, for better or worse. It's still good. Still holds up. Antoine Fuqua directed it, of Training Day fame and King Arthur. One of these is not like the others. And let's see what else. I watched first half of True Romance. I watched Ernest Saves Christmas. Doesn't hold up.
Were they great to begin with?
I'm not sure.
I need to tell a little backstory.
I'm not sure,
Ernest.
but it's bad.
Does Ernest talk to Vern the whole time during these movies?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that character came. He was I believe it was Purity. Was it Purity Dairies? It was a dairy based in like the Nashville area. I lived in Tennessee for a while before I lived, in between living in Alabama. And that was the milk commercial. Was, "Hey, Vern, you want to come go get this milk or whatever?" And then it's like, this dude's making a name for himself being an absolute hillbilly moron, which is great. And then however many movies. I don't know if I've ever seen the Christmas one. I've seen Jail more times than a human should probably admit.
I've seen Jail. Ernest Goes to Camp.
I don't think that's how Jail really is, though.
Ernest...
I don't think it's an accurate portrayal. It's somewhere between that and Shawshank, I think, is the real thing.
Right. I think you're right. Ernest Goes to Camp is my favorite.
I've seen that one a lot, too. It's been many years. Many, many years.
But Ernest Saves Christmas is fucking dog shit. I watched Christmas Vacation.
Oh, so good.
So good. So, I watched it with your lens.
Tell me what my lens is again.
The Alabama lens?
The Alabama lens. Actually...
Hang on. Okay, go ahead.
The weird connection between Cousin Eddie.
Dude.
So, it's her cousin.
Right. So that's that. It's his grandchildren, right? Because hang on. Eddie's her cousin.
No, I think the sister, the woman that Eddie married,
yes,
is her cousin.
Who's the wife's?
The wife's cousin. So when it's her parents that are showing affection,
yes,
it does make sense because
no. That's all I'm saying. They didn't show that same amount of affection to Beverly D'Angelo and Chevy Chase's children. I didn't see that.
So they just picked.
It was very strange.
They would all be her grandkids.
Maybe.
Yeah, because that's their mom, right? So their mom had those 2 sisters, and then those 2 sisters had those 4 kids.
But I don't know. Something doesn't jive there. in my head.
Well, what doesn't jive? Now, having said that, you're right. What doesn't jive there is that she does show she definitely has a favorite set of grandchildren.
Parents aren't allowed to have favorites, but grandparents definitely do. Yeah. Everyone knows who the grandparent's favorite is.
You might be right.
I mean, obviously, if there's a sidecar involved.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not in that crew.
But
even though the other side, never mind. It's not worth a damn.
Watch The Mandalorian, of course.
You didn't like it. Me and Pinkerton and I rated a B- both, and you rated a D something.
D+? D-? Something like that. Yeah, I didn't care for it. It's fine. Dude, it needs to get some meat on that bone for me to really, for me to really kind of get invested in it. And
I think it's just not living up to expectations that you have.
You just said something that's going to roll right into my comment here.
Okay.
I loved Amy Sedaris' character, who was the woman who worked in Bay 3-5. And the line of maybe all Star Wars she utters kind of as a side note to one of the pit droids. She says, "I don't know, something with bones in it."
Yeah.
When asking on what to get this thing to eat.
Yeah.
I don't know, something with bones in it. That's hilarious to me.
So I just like.
I think that's what we're doing to feed babies, because he asked for bone broth too in the last planet he was on for the baby.
I just feel like, man, there's this like people are like, man, this one's really good. You see how they're on Tatooine? There's the bar, and it's like, man, like this is not what I want.
I like the interaction with the kid.
Dude, what kid?
I mean, not the kid, the wannabe, the Merc wannabe.
Yeah, he irritated me too.
Like he's supposed to.
Yeah, no, I get it, but like I didn't like her, the sniper, and I didn't like him.
You don't like the Kung Fu Asian?
No, I didn't like her character, and like I thought with her being in it, I was going to get some badass kung fu. I did not. And then I wasn't crazy about that woman either, the bone broth lady. So like, I didn't give a shit about any of those characters. Like the fact that EV-99 is like hosting the bar and there's droids inside the bar now, and it's like, I mean, like that's a cool thing. But like people are talking about that scene, like it was so great. You got to see the bar again. It's like, dude, this is not what I want.
No, I mean, I guess it's cool, but that's not the main. That shouldn't be the main point.
I am not in this for the nostalgia.
Yeah,
I am in this because I want to see the next thing. I want to be nostalgic about this in 20 years.
Well, I think part of it is seeing where places are now.
Right,
which is cool, but it's not. It doesn't make it amazing.
It doesn't It doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the show.
Agreed.
And like the show is starting, and I still like it. I like all Star Wars, but if I'm just being critical, like if I'm being real and honest about it, like it's turning into a Freak of the Week episode thing.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's very much so.
I don't have any interest in that. I want to see an overarching story, which is why I like 1 and 3 the most. I feel like they're the two that are most closely tied to one another. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. I don't want this. Now here he is on this planet dealing with this problem, and then the next week here he is on this planet dealing with this problem, and this guy is getting the dog shit kicked out of him and taken advantage of left and right. He's fucking trash.
Yeah, I mean that's
my problem with him too. He's not fucking cool. He talks cool and he looks cool.
Yeah,
but anytime he's like left to his own vices, he's getting the fucking shit kicked out of him.
I will tell you one thing I didn't really care for is the opening scene of this episode.
The dogfight.
The dogfight. I just like, what is this?
I mean, he's being chased down.
I understand that, but just the dialogue and that's my line and all that's like,
yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
That was a bit much.
That was weird. I appreciated a space battle, but yeah, it doesn't serve shit either.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it served for the ship's fucked up. I need to go somewhere.
Who do we think the guy is at the end?
I think it's going to be Gus Fring.
And that's what I think too.
Who?
The guy from Breaking Bad, the chicken guy.
The guy
who's supposed to be the.
Or it's Bill Burr. I mean, I'm literally just basing.
Oh,
this
I thought you were talking about like a character we've seen already.
No, Gus Fring.
Well, because people think it's Boba Fett. Because of the cha-ching.
Well, Tyler, shout out to Snowflake Tyler. He pointed this out. The very first scene of the very first episode, he walks in that cantina. Mm-hmm. You got the jingle jangle. Mm-hmm. Just that one time. Mm-hmm. Never again. Mm-hmm. What is that about?
I don't know. And he could be. It could be Boba Fett. I just think. I wouldn't put it past him.
I haven't seen the body.
This whole fucking series so far is like. This is, I feel like, what Adam was talking about when he was like. remember?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
where
feels
I
like
don't.
that.
I don't feel that.
Member berries.
Like, yeah, I don't feel that way about Rogue One or Solo
Same.
or 8.
Same.
I feel that way about 7. I feel like 7 has a lot of remember.
It does.
But I feel like this is the most heavy-handed remember that I have seen in Star Wars, where it's just like every.
You know, I didn't finish watching it, but I started to watch a video. 51 Easter eggs in episode 5, or not?
There's always a lot in every episode.
It's chapter 5.
There's been like dozens in every episode.
I keep getting on people's ass about calling them episodes.
Chapters. Yeah, because it's confusing.
Yeah, it's confusing. Like, I loved episode 5. I'm like, oh, really? What'd you think of the Battle on Hoth?
I've actually been meaning to talk about that. It's a smart way they've chose to do it.
It is. And it's a smart way for me to be a smart ass on the internet.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I just feel like it's, there's nothing about this that makes me attached to him or to this story except for Baby Yoda. And it's because it's the only kind of unknown.
I wish he was better at what he does.
Did you pre-order Baby Yoda?
I'm not sure if I will. I'm more interested in like the Hot Toys.
I grabbed 2 of the stuff. I mean, they don't come out till
May
or some shit. No, actually, BBTS put it up for March. So I grabbed 2 off of there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm hoping there's 3 episodes left. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that the last 3 episodes are a story.
A story. I think they will be.
A Star Wars story. And if they are, I can feel like I can look back on this and be like, yeah, man, I love the Mandalorian.
Season 2 announced?
Yeah.
Okay,
it was announced before the network was even
I
launched.
can keep watching this. I don't for what it is. I can keep watching it every week.
Yeah.
So,
and I can too. But it's chicken nuggets.
I love chicken nuggets.
I do too.
But it's no steak.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if there was steak,
but like,
you'd have to have ketchup.
Yeah,
for fuck's sake.
I want to see him get better at what he does as a bounty hunter, because like I'm thrown off because at the beginning I feel like they want you to think he's really good, but then throughout the show it's like he's like mediocre.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for the armor, he would have been dead at least 2-3 times.
Okay, but
he's been hit in the head so many times.
He has definitely been concussed. Would you rather see a story about this unstoppable?
No, I don't want him to be unstoppable.
Hey, I've seen many stories about the unstoppable, and it's always a good
I just
time.
want him. I want him to be
that unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
I want him to be
Win.
when he got his back.
That is broke back
mountain
and came back. And
what? Huh? Where?
Batman. We're talking about Batman for those listening. And that Batman is
that
generally
went a really weird place. Really
Batman
quick.
is generally the unstoppable.
He
like,
is.
You know, and like if he was of that level of unstoppable.
I don't want him to be that.
But at the same time,
I'm just saying.
But hang on.
What I'm saying is that you don't want him to be that unstoppable. But
I don't need him to be.
Okay, but the implication there is that there's plenty of room between where he is right now and where Batman is. Right?
I can't make that. I can't draw that line at all. I can't get there. I can't compare them.
I feel like he's a rookie.
Yeah, I do too.
Which is fine, but like I wish
he doesn't feel like a professional.
Well, hang on. I think you're probably onto something, because what does the armor maker say? Have you picked out your?
He doesn't have one. It means he doesn't have an adult. He doesn't have his bar mitzvah.
He doesn't have a jetpack.
Except I feel like simultaneously all of the narrative in the show is trying to tell you, no, he's supposed to be great. When so we get the opening sequence that's supposed to establish.
This goes back to the college football thing.
Maybe he's supposed to be really good at what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about his reputation precedes him. They talk, like all this.
But he's
stuff.
a good it's like he's a good bounty hunter.
Well, so he's a better bounty hunter than what's this
on the
dipshit's name that with the earring. The earring was a bit much. I was like, come on, dude.
But when he got shot the first time with a sniper was fine, but him getting shot a second time, I'm like, nah, this is dumb. Why are you running in a straight line?
That dude he was working with looks like he would probably go in a C-store and it's like, hey man, y'all got any bath salt?
When I
just came across,
but
like
that. Yeah.
When episode 1 and episode 3, when chapter 1 and chapter 3 came out, I had to watch them numerous times because either my kids or my wife or whatever the case may be, and I was like,
my wife,
yeah, let's sit down and watch it again.
Same.
This past weeks, I've only watched them once, and the other ones, I've been like the one before with the ATST. Like Jana was like, I haven't seen it yet. Can we watch it? I'm like, yeah, put it on. The majority of these episodes I can now say are not doing it for me.
Okay,
doesn't mean I hate it, and I like it as much as I like anything Star Wars. Did
you order the Hot Toys?
No.
You didn't.
I have not, because I want the silver one.
Oh, so I got to order the Chunky Boy. I haven't ordered him yet, but I've ordered the other two.
And I want a Cara Dune. I want a Cara Dune more than I want a fucking IG-11. And
I mean, I'm in on all of it. I mean, this is totally like, I'm buying the fucking Black Series shit.
And don't get me wrong, I love what it's doing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm also concerned. I had this conversation briefly with Joe. I'm also concerned that it will become the new standard because of the positive feedback. That's like, yeah, look, chicken nuggets from now on.
Okay.
And now it's the thing I have faith
in
it because we've had a variety of things.
Right.
And, you know,
I mean,
we'll keep having the variety of things.
Right. And I'm good with that.
They're putting people in charge in it that at least sort of know what they're doing and are into Star Wars.
By the way, kudos on your video Friday, your Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, I like it
that
a lot.
might have been your best one that I've watched.
Thank you.
Because it seemed like you were yelling, and it was great. Because Kelly watched that with me, and she was like just in the kitchen while I was watching it. She's like, "That's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard," or something like that. Yeah. Sorry if I misquoted you, dear. But the whole thing about the Nike and the Force, and like, it was almost too fucking convenient for whoever wanted to social justice engineer it.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got on a Force shirt. Oh, these shoes have.
And,
yeah.
And obviously, like, you know,
Uptowns, by the way. I got that.
Hey. Obviously, I mean, she wants, you know, she's taking parts in these things where she wants more women in film. And she said that she wants more women. But I also think at the end of the day, 7 p.m., when the rubber hits the road and when the smoke clears, that she is simultaneously hiring what she thinks are the best people for the job in spite of that. Mm-hmm. Like, the evidence, it's insurmountable.
Well, and you said this. She's hiring and firing people.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look, I've never been a big fan of hers, but I guess I probably didn't. I didn't know that she worked on literally my childhood.
Everything.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she had worked on all that shit. So that was very well put together. And I think that was a very eye-opening piece for a lot of people, myself.
Get you a more complete picture of who she is and her body of work.
And I have issues with her. I don't think that she's done... Like, I don't think she's walked on water throughout these past 5 years.
Well, I mean,
whatever.
And then there was that. What was that? I sent you guys. She did an interview recently with Rolling Stone, and it may have been taken out of context, where she said something.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
I don't remember what she said. It was.
Okay, so she said something along the lines of, like, where we're going, there's no books, there's no comics.
Yes.
So I get what she's saying.
That's what
and I haven't read it. I haven't read it to clearly put it in context.
Hang on. The way they framed it for, you know, social justice, I suppose, was she is unaware of all this other media, and there's no fucking way.
But like, I think what she was trying to say was, like, Civil War has a baseline. That
correct.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Infinity War has a baseline that they can draw from.
But at the same time, if they wanted to make a, I don't know, Coruscant Nights movie trilogy, they could have. They could do that. There is a ton of stuff that they could say, all right, we're going to canonize this shit. Chewbacca catch this planet. Who's going to get the Yuzon Vong or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hope that's not it.
Yeah,
but they've chosen not to because they want to tell original stories against the backdrop of all this other stuff.
And that EU shit gets tricky because, like, if they're not
like
going,
Chewbacca catching a planet
like that, as a moon, I think. But
sorry,
actually, but like the problem is that if they weren't going to tell a story straight from a book, writing their own story that fit in all of the canon perfectly, it would have been impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
It would have been impossible.
So
and have it mean something.
Stating it like that, their best bet is just come up with the original material.
Right. So I understand. I had this conversation recently. I don't miss the EU stories. I miss the EU characters. And that's where I feel like they may have fucked up. And I put that on her. Mm-hmm. You know, that's my issue.
But they bring some people back sometimes, right?
But I don't. But
then
yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not feast or famine. It's not one or the other.
Yeah.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes, Joe. I'm saying,
but only the Jedi really deals in absolute.
I'm saying.
By the way, I'm gonna let you finish. I don't think the Jedi knew what the fuck they were doing.
They don't know.
They had no idea.
And it had been so long since they'd encountered a Sith. I think that they were like, they didn't even understand the nature of the beast they were fighting. But I just my thing with Kathy Kennedy is just like, if you're going to get upset with her or you're going to feel a way about her, just feel a way for the right reasons. Like, you know, like, just be like, look, yeah, here's my issue with her. I think that, you know, whatever. I think that this was a poor choice. This was a poor choice. If you're like, look, hiring J.J. Abrams was a poor choice. Hiring Rian Johnson was a poor choice, and I blame that on her. That's valid.
You think J.J. was a bad choice? I
don't know.
So
I don't know.
So how familiar are you with his work before Star Wars?
relatively so. I've seen a fair amount of his movies. I had not seen Lost.
Okay. So I that was the sole reason I was excited when I heard JJ was involved, because I watched Lost.
like his stuff.
That was probably the last show I watched. It's on. Like, I think
that
that's
many seasons
right
of-
around the time when DVRs had become a thing. You know, that was probably one of the first shows I watched every week, you know, on the DVR. So I knew he could tell a story, but at the same time, I also knew that ended kind of fucked up. It didn't really give. It left you wanting.
It's like Stephen King
And that's
stuff.
a little fearful. It has me a little fearful about the end of 9.
Yeah, me too. I have.
Oh, you
concerns.
already know what's gonna fucking happen. Don't act like you
I do, but I mean, they changed it. You know.
Hey, that guy knows. Change it just for him.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? There was something else I was gonna say that.
Hater for dislike her for the right reasons.
Yeah, I just here. Thank you. This is what I was gonna get to. Here's what I'm not into, and I don't give like the social justice shit. I don't view the world through that lens. Right, so like
I think it's past.
I think it is too. I think it is too.
thank God.
Like, shout out to Mechanic. He wrote a comment in last week's show where he was like, "Bobby sees the Watchmen for the social justice thing." Like, no, dude, that's not what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck about that message. Like, I don't give a fuck about the message. I give a fuck about you have a show called The Watchmen. It's not dealing with the Watchmen. You can have a social justice quote unquote message in The Watchmen, and I might be with the shits. I might be on board for that. I don't view the world always trying to like. Is this some sort of social justice? Is this social justice? I need to be worried about because this is what I want to get to, and I really want to get everybody's opinion on it because I'm getting worked up about this shit. Let me tell you what I'm not fucking feeling. Okay, I'm not fucking feeling men acting like fucking victims. I'm not fucking feeling it. You're not a fucking man. Fuck you. Fuck you. If you're out there and you're fucking singing the blues of how men are being treated so fucking poorly, you're not a goddamn man. Fuck you.
Change the
That's
narrative.
not how men act. You want to act like a fucking man? Toughen the fuck up. Stop being a fucking bitch. I've had it. That's what irritates me. Is like we're being pushed to the side, stepped on. So it's like, dude, you're not a fucking man. My dad would laugh you out of the fucking room.
I think most of our fathers would laugh or are laughing at this shit.
Yeah, especially when it's like doesn't have much basis to it.
No, it doesn't, and that's
They don't have a ground to stand on.
people like to argue for the sake of argument.
It says that you are threatened. You are threatened and you are worried. You're worried about some, like the Captain Marvel shit. You know, whatever. Like, you're worried about this woman. Like, when did men start acting this way? Like, did you hear what she said about men? Who cares?
I laugh at. I mean, I have no reason to get upset. I guess I'm confident in my masculinity.
That's what it is. It's insecurity.
Yeah.
People show their insecurity.
And Bobby,
I'm a man. I show my insecurity to only my wife and only in private. The rest of you don't get to know what my insecurities are unless we have a really passionate, fucking intense friendship moment. Otherwise, my insecurities are private because I'm a fucking man.
I'm not going to suck your thumb, Bobby. I'm just not going to do it.
I tug on my earlobe.
That's when I want you to stop. I'm frightful for the generation that comes after the one that's after our children's generation, because they're not going to have any social skills at all. They're not going to know how to interact, and they're going to be victims for everything, although they have no life experiences. The majority.
I see things, I guess, maybe differently. One thing, I don't have children, as usual. But two,
is that new information?
I don't. Just because things aren't the same doesn't mean it's gonna be bad. So socializing is just gonna be different than what we were growing up with, and what we used to. And also the fact that a lot of these motherfuckers complaining, these fucking little bitches, that's what they are. There's a small amount of little bitches being loud. Just like anything else with outrage. It's not a whole generation of these people.
Yes, and it's the extremes on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I think that every man, like when you go through like a boy, you're a boy. You're born with a dick and balls. And you go through life and you go through puberty and you come out the other end of it as a man. At that point, they give you a business card. And on that business card, it says, for any questions, comments, courtesies, criticisms, or complaints, contact Gary Cooper. And you have to call Gary Cooper, and you have to fucking cry to him, and he's going to straighten you out in 5 fucking minutes. He's going to grab you by the back of your head with his left hand and give you one firm smack across the face with your right hand and tell you to toughen the fuck up. You cry to your wife or your husband who I don't care, whoever you trust most in this world, you cry to that person privately and you move the fuck on. God bless it, man. Oh, men aren't being treated fairly. Dude, you know how many times I haven't been treated fairly? You know how many times I got treated fairly by crying about it? 0% of those times. You fucking make the change. You do. If you feel like men that just the odds are stacked against you, you poor man, then fucking write some shit about men being the manliest men that they have 100% men, just reigning men. You just do what you want to do.
You know, Michael said it best. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. Take it, Bobby.
Gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. All right. Moving on. So,
oh man.
Let's see. We have a little bit of notes to get into.
Oh, I forgot about that. I thought it was a Star Wars story.
Mulan Rouge. So the trailer hit, and you haven't seen it. Do you want to pause it and watch it?
Yeah, let's pause it and watch it.
All right. So, thoughts, comments, courtesies, concerns.
I thought it looks incredible.
I think so
even
too.
if you take away the fact that it's what it's based on, it just
Right.
looks like a really good story.
Yeah.
And I want to see it.
I
think the imagery looks amazing.
It looks. So here's the thing about it. My issue with the Disney live action remakes is, if I'm going to sit down to watch The Lion King, I'll probably never watch the live action one because they're pretty much just basically the identical movies. Sometimes with even the shot being the same, and it's just a matter of, like, at that point it's just a matter of preference and sort of performance preference, and like. But Jungle Book, I might be like, well, which one do you want to watch? Like, ooh, actually, I'm in the mood for this one because they're two different fucking movies, This looks like a different movie than the cartoon. And that's why I'm in. I'm in on that. It's got to, like, it's like you take the DNA, but like us and chimps. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we share like 97 or 98% of the same DNA, right? Some ridiculous shit like that.
Some more than others? What?
Look, I only shit in my hand that time
One
because
time.
it was either that or shit all over my car.
I'm surprised you didn't throw it.
So that's what I want. 3% difference, but huge fucking change.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want. And if it's going to be too close, I'm good with what I have.
I mean, I know I've seen Mulan, but it's probably been 20 years. So I remember that, she's a girl impersonating a man in a war. That's all I remember.
Woman disguised as a dude.
Exactly.
Hearing about this, I was disappointed there's no dragon. Seeing it, I get it.
Oh, it's Phoenix.
But what if instead of a dragon, Drag On was in the movie? I'm trying to think of any of his songs.
I tell you what, I'm glad they got that flow the fuck out of here. I was never a big fan of all the and that was down bottom. So yeah, but I think it looks epic. It looks like grand, like, I don't know. What do you think? You've been quiet. What do you think?
I have no unbiased opinion about this.
Okay, so talk about that.
I mean, I'm just on the end. Well, all my life I've been kind of anti-China for
as far back as you can remember. You always wanted to be a gangster.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I tried, remember? But like, yeah, I've been on an anti-China train, but like lately, just more so than others. Also, like the basis, I do have a problem. I don't know if I have a problem. I have a question about the bottom of this, and this and Pocahontas, because Mulan is not a Disney made up thing. It's based on a Chinese person or some kind of maybe historical figure, maybe
like Robin
legend.
Hood.
Yeah,
who was not a fox, as it turns out. They broke.
But you like the fox better?
Oh, 1,000%. Still the best Robin Hood movie ever made. I don't even think it's up for debate. It's better. It's better than the Costner one.
Is it better than Men in Tights?
It's better than Men in Tights. It's better than Russell Crowe's.
It's definitely better than Russell Crowe's.
And I haven't
Is it
seen-
definitely better than Kevin Costner's?
Yes, for sure. And I haven't seen this. At the very least, the Fox does a better job.
Yes.
And I haven't seen this latest one,
I haven't either.
so I don't.
I don't think I've seen the Russell Crowe one either.
I can't.
No,
I have seen
I
the Russell
haven't.
Crowe one, but I can't speak on this latest one. But it
The
definitely.
new one with Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Fox is unbeatable right now.
Morgan Freeman's in the Kevin Costner movie.
He is, and he does a great job.
And you get to see his butt, remember? Kevin Costner's butt in the waterfall?
Oh yeah, that
Not
is
Morgan Freeman's butt.
true.
Bobby,
That's actually where my head went.
Bobby's eyebrows went halfway up his head when I said
I
that.
almost got a freckle pop up myself.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
All right, so
So I'm wondering how true they are staying to the story, or does it even matter? Maybe it doesn't. But like the Pocahontas thing is kind of weird because it is based on a real person and some real events. So I don't know if they're gonna touch that one, especially with nowadays with people being more aware of history.
I like the
perhaps.
witch.
Yeah, the witch looks cool.
Yeah, cool character design and like
Kind of looks like Johnny Depp when he was playing Tonto.
dude. It doesn't look unlike.
It doesn't not. It's the
a little bit.
Have you guys ever seen that movie?
No.
haven't
I did.
you? Is it good?
No,
Can't
I didn't
be.
think so.
I can't. It's not memorable. I can't say if it's
I
good
know
or
they
not.
did Hot Toys figure of that Tonto.
Did it really?
It looks really cool, but why
It
would
was
you?
like 5-6 years ago at least, right?
Yeah.
I tell you what, Johnny Depp probably could have called Gary Cooper when he was getting the shit kicked out of him by Mira from Aquaman.
I don't thought you don't fight back. That's the thing.
you she
I
sucks.
thought real men don't hit women. Or some
Yeah,
shit like that.
you don't have to fight back.
You gotta
but you
protect
can, but you can stop it.
What if you're like 60 years old and she was like in her 20s?
Well,
He's not
that's
60.
I don't know. He's old. He's older than he looks.
All them fucking movies he made. Does he have a key to a car? Can he go get in it and leave?
probably.
Gary Cooper would tell him to fucking leave at the very least. All right, but yeah, I'm in. I think it looks beautiful. I think it looks mature to me. Like
It does,
It
yeah.
doesn't look childish. Like
That's just not how they treat women in China. Well, that's not how they're bound to feet and stuff instead.
Bobby, I know you don't have this in your notes, but I know you love a good rap beef. Are you familiar with the newest rap beef that's out?
between Juicy J and Juice WRLD.
No.
Rest in peace, Juice
Rest
WRLD.
in peace, Juice WRLD. And Juicy J did not pass away. I posted that, and Mason said, "Why'd you post that?" I said, "Just wait." And like 5 minutes later, it was like Bobby hit me up.
Well, because
not
I
Juicy
thought Juicy J. I was like, I couldn't even point who it was in my head. I was like, I know this guy. He's a Southern guy, and but I couldn't put it together. So I was like, and then I literally Googled rapper dies, and then Juice WRLD came up, which informed me of that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I bet you. And I was like, and then I Googled Juicy J, and that picture came up, and I was like, okay, that's where he went.
Yes.
And I
Well,
just figured that you had fucked it up.
That is not the rap beef. So Eminem has drug the whole Nick Cannon, Mariah Carey thing back up in a song on Fat Joe's new
I see because
album.
it's Christmas.
I guess.
Mariah Carey
so
always resurrects every year.
So I did listen to the first two verses of that, but M goes third, so I didn't make it to Anakin.
Okay.
Anakin,
It's
Anakin.
not. It's not real. I mean, he. I don't know why he brings this up, but Nick Cannon has shot back today and has Suge Knight from prison on the track.
Well, Nick Cannon is like,
He gets some bars off, but he's
But-
got
but-
other
but-
people on there. I don't know who they are.
but I'm not a fan of his music or the Wild.
Oh, you're
Out
not?
Or,
No,
no.
surprising. I figured you were a huge Nick Cannon
Right,
fan.
but he's got some certified history
Yeah.
behind him. Like he
got Suge Knight on the phone, so
he has a surprising amount of certifications
Yeah.
in his portfolio.
yeah. I just thought that was interesting. I know you love a good rap beef.
Oh, I do.
And I will be honest, it's odd to see a white guy and a black guy in a rap beef. You don't see that very often.
That is true.
Think that through.
I guess we saw Ja and M go at it.
Yeah, but that was kind of an 50 affiliated.
Yeah.
beef. It wasn't
It was
one-on-one.
definitely inherited.
Suge Knight says he's like Eminem or whatever your name is. I'm
like,
like,
you know his
dude,
name.
You know his name. you wish
But-
you would sign.
I'll tell you, Ja on that when they were going at it said some terrible shit. Like when he said, 50, your mom is a crackhead and Kim is a known slut. What Haley gonna be when she grows up?
Yeah, he gets Haley's name off on this one.
like,
on this one.
Ja. Anyway, but yeah, Mulan. So then there's all this there's all this controversy surrounding her because she just has returned to social media, and the Outrage Brigade has stepped up, and she has made some comments in support of the police of China who
Hong
have
Kong.
Hong Kong. I'm sorry.
Which
I'm sorry.
is,
Pardon me.
working with China basically.
And who have been kind of using brutal force against peaceful protesters and protesters in general. And one of the memes that was created, I'm going to pull up for Chris to take a look at, but it is objectively, not without any bias. It's pretty fucking funny, but it's her in the Mulan pose, but they've replaced the sword and shield with the police baton and riot shield.
That's awful.
Yes. Legit.
So I'll read this article real quick, and then I'll get Joe's kind of opinion on this sort of thing. But it said, in the run-up to release of Mulan at theaters, Disney has given potential audiences a new poster and trailer to build anticipation, helping to promote the live-action remake of star Liu Yifei.
I have no idea. I don't speak Mandarin.
If you slow it down and play it backwards, I got it right. Also known as Crystal Liu, who returned to Twitter and Instagram just days ago after several months of silence. Liu's return, as well as the renewed focus on Mulan, has reignited resentment, resulting in the return of the Boycott Mulan hashtag over the summer. The hashtag started trending in several countries in and around the Southeast Asia following Liu's decision to share a controversial image of Chinese social media platform Weibo expressing support for the Hong Kong police force, which has allegedly employed a variety of excessively violent tactics to handle peaceful protesters. Several notable figures, including Hong Kong's activists and politicians, have shared the hashtag in support for a mass boycott of the film, often attaching a mock poster depicting the Disney character in riot gear worn by the Hong Kong police force. So, what do you think about that? Like, there's been a lot of this kind of shit recently. There was some ball player that came out in support of China, and then he walked that dog back.
It was
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I
mean, you might have heard of him.
I have heard of him.
He's kind of the Michael Jordan of today.
Look, LeBron James or whatever your name is,
or whatever. That's the new thing, or whatever your name.
But I've heard of LeBron James, but I couldn't tell you what team he plays for.
Sports ball team.
And I know it's basketball.
I know it's basketball. I don't know what team he's on.
He's on the Lakers currently.
There you go.
Don't they change teams once in a while? Spice things up.
Whoever pays the most.
You know what would be a fun game?
Loyalty.
How many basketball players do you think I can name?
That are currently playing or ever?
Or ever.
You can probably name the whole dream team.
I would hope maybe 30.
Okay, Joe?
That you can name?
Mm-hmm.
15.
Okay, all right, let's play it out.
Seriously?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird.
It's dream team. I said dream team, motherfucker.
Michael Jordan.
Dream team.
Scottie Pippen.
Dream team.
Hang on a second. Do you always start with your thumb when you're counting on your hand?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Kobe Bryant.
Okay, maybe I'm the weird one.
Yeah, you're the winner because I did the same thing.
LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Yao Ming.
Correct. He did play.
That's relevant.
It is relevant.
Oh, the guy from Philly. This is practice. Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another guy. He's kind of like a nice guy.
Can we
Can we
Kobe help
Bryant.
you at all?
Yeah, sure.
Giant funny guy?
Oh, Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I do know him.
I don't know if that put any more bullets in your gun. Here.
Charles Barkley.
There you go. Okay, we're at 10.
All dream team. Mostly dream team.
Mostly
dream
all
team
dream
and
team.
like the two that are famous of today. That's why I'm two though.
Who's the guy with the kind of bigger forehead?
Isn't that LeBron James?
That's probably LeBron James.
Oh,
is he kind of a nice guy?
Yeah, and his forehead kind of moves back and forth.
Yeah. So that's it. I'm out, I think.
I know something Malone.
Karl Malone?
Not
Post
Malone.
Karl Malone.
So you got 10, I got 11. I had all those, and then
I can fill this up.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you can. And you probably got sneakers after half of them. But I
know there was one real short guy that can dunk.
The only reason why I know Yao Ming is because most of them I know are from lyrics. That's how I know most about
Spud Webb.
Yes.
Dominique Wilkins. His brother Gerald Wilkins.
Nope. Will Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain, I've heard of, but I thought he was some sort of philanthropist.
Oh,
I would have never known he was a ball player.
He supposedly betted like
5,000 That's why I imagine. That's why I imagine.
Ewing, not Star Wars.
That's Star Wars.
Ewing.
There you go.
You got a whole bag there in New York.
I'm getting close to 15.
Charles Johnson, John Bronson, Oscar Martinez, Omar Swanson.
You're just naming names now.
Okay, because a rapper runs them off, and I don't know who they were, so I just figured they were ball players.
Charles Oakley.
I've heard.
It sounds
that.
familiar, but
so in Got a Story to Tell by Biggie, he drops.
Oh yeah, that's the story of his.
One of them 6'7"
Yeah.
I could go on for days on NBA.
Okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
There you go.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you back in
White chocolate.
Jason Williams.
Yeah, okay.
Back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Not bad.
Do I get partial credit for that? White chocolate? I know.
I'll give it to you.
Okay, all right.
I'll give it to you. I could probably name at least the starting 5 of every NBA team. I don't know active players. I could probably name 10 players, and I couldn't probably pick most of them out of a room.
My favorite's definitely Allen Iverson, just based off that practice bit. It's definitely my favorite.
I love that. I love that bit. That was like the beginning of some of the people remixing stuff.
The Morgan Freeman one is the best when Morgan Freeman does it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Where were we at before the basketball bit?
Mulan.
Because he came out and supported the LeBron.
Yeah,
but then he walked it back. He walked it back. To be
It's a fucking complicated situation over there, man.
Well, I don't know. Did you guys hear about Frank Miller or whatever his name is? The thing of he's got a new chapter of the Dark Knight series coming out, and there's an image I'll show you here. It's of Batwoman throwing a Molotov cocktail, and the tagline is "The future is young," has been fully embraced by the protesters in Hong Kong.
Yes, because
DC took all that shit down. So they're just like, I don't want to get involved in it.
Why is DC so afraid to rattle the cage?
When they're the ones who has like the dark serious stories,
right?
What's it? Raphael Grandpa?
They want
to
to
say his
they
name.
want to kick and eat it too. They want to fucking make people whatever.
So
it's fine. I understand. From a business point of view, I perfectly understand.
Yeah. So
especially.
anyways.
So are you? I guess don't do whiteface. Are you?
trying to be one of you.
Are you boycott? Are you like Are you supporting the boycott because of it? Or
I mean, I don't watch movies much in general.
Sure. But are you like I'm not going to watch this because because the reason why I asked that, I'm trying to think if there's anything in my life that I've ever encountered where I'm like, I'm not supporting this.
I'm not watching it.
Okay, because of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, all right. So
it's not just her. It's just in general. Like I'm just so put off by Chinese stuff right now, other than toys.
So the only thing
manufacturing,
the only thing off the top of my head that I can think of where I heard some celebrity make a statement and it affected the way that I ingested their material was when KRS-One said, "When the planes hit the towers, black people looked to the sky and said justice." That's the one thing I've ever heard that I've been like, you know what? Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
because like my view is so tainted right now. Anyway, I couldn't enjoy the movie. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Because even watching a trailer, I'm getting fucking. Because I don't know, anxious. I'm getting worked up.
Even Marky Mark, when Marky Mark said that if he was on those planes, they wouldn't like. It's a stupid fucking thing to say.
But at least it's like on.
But not even that. It's like. Like you're entitled to be a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, but I think for the most part, I mean, like look at like Mel Gibson has said terrible things on record. Not on record. You know what I mean? But
he's been recorded.
not like you put that shit out.
Bars,
Judge. I need to swear in real quick before I say these words.
But I can still kind of say like, look, like. He's not invited to Thanksgiving, but I can sit down and watch his material.
I think everyone has different lines too.
Ice Cube.
If you're a Jewish person, it might not be the same thing.
So, but look, Ice Cube. I only enjoy Ice Cube's content when he hates white people. It's the only Ice Cube I enjoy.
It's fair.
The moment that he started liking white people,
you don't like Are We There Yet?
I don't like any of those movies. I don't like any of those fucking songs. It kind of, it's not for nothing. It kind of goes back to my victimhood thing. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have to sit there and be like, oh, but white people, you should we're fine. Don't judge us. You know what I mean? It's like, no, like fucking the music's good. I don't give a fuck who he likes. He's not my friend. Anyway, I'm derailed. I don't know where the fuck I was, but yeah, I think that's an interesting thing of where do we draw the lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a really personal thing.
Obviously,
and it doesn't have. It doesn't. Not only does it not have to be, it's definitely irrational. I was going to say it doesn't have to be rational, but I don't think. I think it's a gut feeling.
That's sometimes personal, though. I mean, that's how personal shit is sometimes.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Because like with all of the social justice things or whatever people complain about,
like the way you attacked Casino was very irrational that day. When I went back and listened to it, it was very irrational.
What? Oh yeah. But like sometimes this is injustice, blah blah blah, and they have a rational reason of why they don't like or like certain things. But a lot of times it's just like a gut reaction.
Yeah. No. I agree. I also wanted to say, I'm just going to add, I think that we should make this a thing too. We should just have a segment of conversations that we're going to say that we're going to have and then never actually have. Because we've done it a lot, you and I. We've been like, look, we got to get to this Pokemon conversation. We just haven't got to.
And in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. So I want to add one to that list, okay?
And movies we're going to watch.
Yes. I want to add one to that list, which is shit. It's just been happening more and more.
Oh, he's getting older and softer. And
Say Lyme's disease, man.
Switch to lemons, man.
Yeah,
Switch
well,
to
that's what I was going to say. It's not spelled the same. It can't gone from bad lime that I ate. Yeah, I forget what I was going to say. We were just fucking talking about
Casino.
Oh, yep. Thank you, Joe. Consuming media that's trying to be of the villain point of view, or
Yeah.
Because I just want to put this out there. I've been thinking about that a lot, and I think I'm with you overall. However, I don't view all villains the same. There are villains out there that are technically villains, but I don't necessarily view them as bad people. And that's where it becomes complicated for me. So I just want to add it to the list of discussions that we'll never
We need
have.
to make a list.
Yeah.
Or that we'll have off air and then say later, oh, we should record it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so our next note is Ghostbusters 3, that trailer.
Oh, loved it.
Yeah, I liked it.
I'm fucking on board.
This is what Kelly and I watched it this morning, and I think we agreed. This is what
You're getting ready to say it. Just keep going.
That's what we needed.
Instead of
the lady movie.
Yeah. As Joe and I said,
I've never seen the lady movie.
I did. It's terrible. Joe and I said the same thing. Is like this is what it's about. It's like it's not about.
It's about the lore of the original series.
It's about just doing something right. It doesn't matter. Like
it felt right. It was captivating. It was
and who knows? It could be garbage.
Yeah, but the trailer.
But it looks like it's not going to be.
And is this set in a modern time?
It looks like it.
Somebody cut that kid's goddamn hair.
Yeah,
I swear.
no kidding.
I'm sure.
Like, dude, have you been back to Alabama lately? Because I go to Southern Maryland lately. They still have feathered hair down there. All right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, listen, Southern Maryland is another animal.
I'm just saying that people in another era still right now. I work with a guy with a mullet.
It wouldn't have mattered if that kid was the grandson of Egon or the granddaughter of Egon.
Right.
None of that shit matters. It's not the sex that matters. It's whether or not it's done right. It's whether or not it looks legit. And we were talking about it like people were saying, like, you know, there was people saying, like, you're hating on the Ghostbusters shit because it's women. Like, no.
It's just not a good movie.
It's just not good.
Yeah.
It just
I don't give a
happens to be
shit.
a woman.
It's not a good use of the franchise.
It's like this girl is going crazy with the Charlie's Angels shit. It's like, look, they're historically women. I don't want them to be men.
And they did very well when the last time
they've
came
done
around.
fine in the past. You fucked it up.
Yeah.
You know,
they just didn't
And
have
if they want to
didn't have
introduce-
Beyonce this time.
And if they want to have fucking a good female lead, or they have more female leads or more females in the movie, just make a good movie that happened to have a female lead,
Right.
like this.
And don't use Kristen Stewart for anything ever.
I did want to. I feel disjointed now, but I did want to tie that back to the Kathy Kennedy shit because there are people that are like, well, look, just because you don't like Star Wars doesn't mean that you're like some anti-woman or whatever. Like, yeah, no, I'm on board with that too. I don't think that every conversation, like, you can not like Star Wars and have nothing to do with any of the bullshit that's kind of, you know what I mean? That's perfectly valid, and that's kind of what I'm tying into here. Also that the side note, while my brain is kind of free tracking, iTunes sorted out my fucking, or TuneCore sorted out my music situation.
Nice.
Don't know what's happening. I filled out the thing and requested, like, there's not even a thing. You're not even supposed to write them. But I filled out a thing and I was like, look, can you just tell me what's wrong so maybe I can fix it? And then they wrote back and they're like, no, we apologize. We'll go ahead and put it on there.
Well, I think the algorithm caught something, and they're like, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Stupid algorithm. Stupid Al Gore and his rhythm. That's how we got Tipper pregnant.
I would be willing to bet a paycheck that Al Gore's rhythm is trash. However, I would also be willing to bet 2 paychecks that is better than Tipper's.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ghostbusters 3, I love it. I think it looks great. I do wonder how much of the original cast are going to be in it.
Well, I think it's just a sprinkle.
It does look like a sprinkle.
I'm fine with that.
Because they didn't
I'm
even
okay
tease.
with
They
it.
didn't even tease him in the trailer.
Well, Bill Murray's in it.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought the whole everyone who's alive was like
They're supposed to
on.
be attached to it. Yeah. But I didn't see him in the trailer. I didn't see Dan Aykroyd or.
I think it's
don't
good
even
for
remember.
2 reasons. One, it'll be a delight when if we see him.
Well, not Carl Weathers.
Dude,
Ernie-
just because the black guy.
Ernie Hudson.
He was in The Crow. He was also a cop.
Yeah, no, he's great.
He was in the hand.
But I don't know. I can't ever remember Egon's. Egon to me is just Egon.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know his name.
Zemeckis?
Yeah. Is that it?
No.
No.
Wait a minute. Who played
Just
Egon?
Yeah, it's just I don't know his name.
You talking about the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super famous. Like, you know, like...
But, like, it'll be delight when we do see him. So they keep me something in the bag, you know, like, as a treat.
Yeah.
And not just throwing out there. And two...
Harold Ramis.
Yeah, that's it. And two, I think it's good to move things on. Like, this is a next generation. Oh, we're going to have a next generation. It's like, that's the old guard. Like, let's not focus on that. And let's not have everything be nostalgic and just be like... Right. We have the car already. It's good.
I love the title, Afterlife.
Yes.
Love that. And I love... let me say this. I somehow want Egon's ghost to be tied to it somehow.
Do you know his digital, his face?
I don't know what the right answer is there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. But, like...
Because
of how much he loved it. You know, he loved Ghostbusters. And
I'm sure there's going to be some kind of homage.
I hope.
Some kind of recognition in memory of him.
You know, I was just looking at the cast. Did you know Rick Moranis? Who?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know?
Yeah. Honey, I Shrunk the Kid?
Did you know that he quit back in 97? He just quit Hollywood to take care of his kids because his wife passed away.
Yep.
And he's got plenty of money and he's a good dude. He's like, I'm not going to be this weird celebrity guy. And he's been approached for many projects and he just turned him down.
Well, I was thinking, I wonder if he was just a cameo role, and that would be, I don't know.
Yeah. That was because there's always been like what would bring him back.
Right. Maybe it's Ghostbusters. Maybe just for a cameo.
Keymaster.
Drunken Spider saves the day. Tom Holland's drunk, crying phone call with Disney CEO saves Spider-Man from MCU exit.
Is there audio of this?
I don't know. It says, we were at D23 and the news came out and I was obviously devastated. Holland remembered. It was awful. I asked if I could get Bob Iger's email because I just wanted to say thank you. This has been an amazing 5 years of my life. Blah, 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 blah. So 2-3 days go by and my family and I went to this pub in our local town. We were doing a quiz and I'm 3 pints in, haven't eaten much, and I get a phone call from an unknown number and I have a feeling. I'm like, this is Bob Iger, but I'm drunk. A drunken Hollywood Holland picks up the... I said Hollywood Holland. It's just Holland. I don't know why my mind said... Call the motherfucker Hollywood Holland.
It's fair.
Picked up the phone and wept to Iger over the possibility of his Spider-Man character being removed from the MCU. I was real emotional because I felt like it was all coming to an end. So yeah, that's the story there. So apparently... apparently it you know, and good. And like, look, you know, I've had
just shit on your theory about don't cry about stuff if you're a man.
But yeah, as a matter of fact, fuck him.
Well, hang on.
There we go. That's the reaction, the pushback.
Well, you know what? I mean, I
think. What about
how old is this kid?
Drunk crying. Is drunk crying
I think
different?
that might be different.
That might be
And he didn't drunk dial. He received a call.
And he's saying it's embarrassing.
Yeah, and he received the call and he lost his shit. So,
but also he's still young.
Yeah, like he wasn't online
he's
petitioning.
24.
24.
Like in my mind, you're not a man yet.
Yeah, it'll be different if he went online and asked his fans to sign petition to Disney or some shit like that.
He hasn't gotten Gary Cooper's card yet. He's fine. But like, you know,
he's not American, right?
It just goes back like you know, because I listened to that episode going through it when we got into the argument about it, you, me, and Adam, and like, look, it was just like it just needed to be renegotiated. It was too far.
Yeah,
because like obviously, right, that's the way negotiations work. Mm-hmm. Like there's an obvious like person who deserves more and you know what I mean? Like that shit becomes obvious.
Yeah.
So you gotta increment that shit.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little bit more each time.
Bargaining.
Like they went
so
from
you reach
like
an agreement
5%, 95% to trying to get like 50-50 or some shit like off grip. It's like, well, I can see him being like, wait, nope. Because then next time, then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
next time you want to buy it from me or
right.
whatever.
Let's see.
Don't just buy your parent company. Then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm good with that.
Just flex with that.
This is a good one. A flock of posters. We got a bunch of Birds of Prey posters.
Oh.
Which was interesting.
Okay.
However, I do want to say, so there's, I'll show you them. Oh, apparently this isn't even the right link.
I mean, I've seen them. I think.
Okay, so I feel like the Harley one looks cool.
I like the Black Mask one. Maybe I'm impartial to Obi-Wan there, but
the Black Mask one. I didn't see the Black Mask one.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one.
I saw the Zaz. And Black Canary doesn't look like Black Canary to me. Huntress maybe looks a little too Huntress.
Wow, there's no pleasing Bobby.
Yeah, it's like and I'm talking about instant gut reaction. It could all look fine on screen. It's just like I was like, yeesh, like that's a little Raph. It almost looks like a little cosplay to me. Mm. And then there was I don't know, another villain or something. But yeah, I thought it was
I'm looking for it. I don't see it right off. The one that I saw.
Yeah, so I don't know. No, that's another guy. Roman, or is that Black Mask? Is Roman? What is Black Mask's real name?
Roman, that's him.
Okay, yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Wait, did I just out DC Bobby? On
yeah,
because you're like, I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but yeah, Black Mask is. I wasn't crazy about that poster actually. Where's the Black Mask?
That I thought
In his pocket, like your skull mask.
I wear it all the time, Joe. Don't ruin it for the people.
He puts it on when he needs it. When he needs to speak with his people.
Okay, well,
going live.
Cosmic Book News is the name of this, by the way.
Nice.
I'm going to get the fuck off this site before it gives my computer AIDS, some fucking LimeWire shit.
Your computer got Lyme disease.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about most of those. Then there was the Crisis on Infinite Earths trailer.
It looks high production for a TV show.
Yeah, it looks fine.
I mean, I'd planned to watch all those shows for the build up to it, but I just haven't had the energy. I mean, that's like 4 hours a week I'd need to dedicate to that nonsense.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I can't do it. And I love DC, but I don't like their shows. I don't like their TV. I never have. So it all smells like CW and teenage plight.
It does. There's some angst.
Yeah.
The flavor of angst
Very
is
angsty.
heavy in the air.
And then Beware the Savage War of 1984.
Oh, damn. I thought I was going to see Savage Dragon. I got excited.
The Wonder Woman trailer.
Yep. Did you see it, Joe?
Yeah.
I watched it this morning, too.
I quite liked it.
I think it looks good. It's really showcasing her moveset, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck is... I don't know anything about it. I'm assuming that who's the bad guy? Because I don't even know who it is.
Cheetah.
Right, but who's the dude?
Max, whatever his name is from Infinite Crisis, the guy that she snapped his neck in the comics. It's like one of the people she's killed. I think.
I'm assuming that through some sort of magic
that he brings Trevor back,
and that has consequences.
And he probably creates Cheetah. Is my guess. Just looking at it, but I don't.
And then Kristen, what's her name?
Cheetah.
Kristen,
the blonde.
Yeah, but what's her name?
I don't know.
She was in Ghostbusters
and Bridesmaids, and all that shit.
Yeah, Kristen.
She's a weird choice for that.
Not Kirsten.
I'm sure it is.
She's in her own bag.
Allie.
So not for nothing.
Kristen Wiig with 2 eyes.
My wife reminds in the like the high school era looks like a young Christy Alley.
Let's hope that doesn't. let's hope the back end of that doesn't work out the same for you, Mr. Bobby.
No shit. Also, funny enough, people often compare my wife like they're, you know who you look, you know those people, you know who you look like people. Juliette Lewis is a name that gets brought up, and
I can see that.
And Sandra Bullock is a name that gets brought up. Ironically enough, I don't find either one of them attractive.
Me? Oh, Sandra Bullock's okay.
What was the first one? Sandra Bullock?
Juliette Lewis.
She was in Dust Till Dawn.
They both had their moments.
Yeah.
It's not anybody.
But they're not like...
They're not Jack.
They were never
material.
casted as that type anyway, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, I mean, Sandra Bullock's always disheveled. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, I'm in a position I shouldn't be in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I'm in a position I shouldn't be in.
Like Speed.
Julia Roberts, the scene that comes to mind is a movie called
Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis, even more so because that's another one. There's a movie called, I think it's called Strange Days. It's got Ray Fiennes in it, and it's some sort of VR futuristic,
like Lawnmower Man,
but probably better. Anyway, she's in that. I think she's topless in that movie because it's like I think you're reliving other people's memories or some shit. Like you buy people's memories and watch. It's a really fucked up kind of story all the way across. But
I don't know how I got it. How did I get on this, Joe?
People who look like your wife.
Yeah, before that.
Whoever you were.
Kirstie Alley, fat ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Because that one blonde chick, and I derailed it things as usual.
Yeah.
Horrible.
He is
game.
not good.
I'm not good at it. My mind just goes every fucking where, Joe. I don't know.
Too much coffee, too little coffee. What is it?
Yeah, both. I don't know how I got. I don't know how the fuck I got there.
More blankets and less blankets.
But yeah, I just think she's a bizarre choice though for Cheetah. It's like, why the hell do you like Cheetah's supposed to be kind of like sexy, but also kind of, but more like 90% ferocious, 10% sexy.
Well, we didn't see Cheetah though. We saw whoever she is before.
Correct, and maybe she's got the chops. I don't know. It's just she's always played the same type of goofy character where it's like I don't see Cheetah that way.
She did some great stuff on Saturday Night Live back.
Yeah, for sure. And that's it for news that we do have. We've already talked about The Mandalorian, so we're good there. We do have a couple of questions. I just had to find them.
We had a new one from Paul C just now too. In the email.
All right, I'll get that too. This is from Chris Mall. What's an appropriate?
What's up, Chris?
Yeah, what up, Chris?
What's up?
What is an appropriate time to delete dead people's number from your phone? I'm sure they have reissued the number in 4 years since, but still deleting it feels final. Love y'all, your friend Chris. Dude, that's so.
I never delete numbers.
I don't either.
Ever.
I go through my phone.
Even if I stop being friends, even if I have a fallout with people, like I don't delete those numbers.
No, I do. I delete numbers. I mean,
You deleted everything when you left Alabama, right?
I cut a lot of cords, man. I really did.
I cut a lot of cords. Do you delete dead loved ones numbers?
I don't know that I've.
Wait, do you regularly go through your contacts and delete stuff?
So I've changed jobs 3 times in the past 10 years. So, I'm never going to talk to that. I didn't like talking to him when I had to. Why would I possibly want his? So in that situation, I've gone through and deleted a lot of numbers out. And I had my last phone was my work phone and my personal phone.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm that guy, one for the plug and one for the load. Shout out to Kevin Gates. So I went through, and just deleted because I migrated my numbers over. And then somehow at one point in time, my wife's Google account got linked with mine. Oh. So if I ever use her phone, she has these contacts for people I worked with 5-6 years ago in her phone. Nonetheless, that's tough though. I mean, I would probably keep text messages from somebody.
But you delete the number then, like
right,
the name doesn't show up anymore.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know, man. That's tough.
I haven't been able to. Now, usually how it sorts itself out is I get a new phone. And I can't transfer the numbers over, or I don't want to bother with it, and that's how it happens. But Mario's number, Brutus, I didn't even think I had his number when he passed, because he, Mario and Brutus, both those guys were like a new fucking phone every 2 months or whatever.
Phone number. Everything.
But my grandma's number, I never deleted that shit. It just eventually it just worked its way out of your phone, which is also depressing in its own way. Life just goes on.
Yeah. So. Not to that level, but my parents finally cut off their home phone last year.
The landline?
Shout out to 256-859-2999.
299-5674. That was my grandma's number. Mario's first number was 410-312-9110.
Wow. So we had a this is a super weird flex, but my brother and I got to a certain age. My parents got tired of the phone ringing upstairs all the time, so they had a second number installed downstairs for us. And I remember that's 256-852-4045. I remember that. I don't remember my first pager number, though.
Dude, I remember my number, but I remember in Chinese, so I have to translate it to English. Because you know how you rattle numbers off? Mm-hmm. So the number I remember is in Chinese. I have to write
Laura's
it down.
was 772-0754. Tree's number I know for some reason, 596-7496.
Once the advent of cell phones came, you didn't remember numbers. But I have one guy. I haven't talked to him in years. I honestly, I deleted his number out of my phone. It was one of those. I'm going to stop calling you to see if you ever call me, and you never did. So I deleted your number, and I remember his number clear as day. And I don't know why.
I worry about people like that because I'm bad at it.
You're bad at what?
Keeping in touch. I'm bad at the random calls. What I am good at is I'll have an event and I'll remember to invite you to the event. But I'm bad at just hitting you up and shooting the shit. I'm bad at it. So
me too.
I hit up my buddy JR every once in a while. I make a conscious effort because I know that much like you, he's sitting there man, I'm not texting him again. I'm not calling him again. Because I haven't got back to him or whatever the case may be. But I will. I will reach out and be like, look. But then people be like, look, man, I don't want to come by with fucking 50 other people. I want to just hang out.
Right.
And I'm like, well, cool. I want to do that too. It's a whole complex to that shit. I hate fucking feeling like I'm putting. So I'm not going to invite myself over to your house.
Oh, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. I invited myself over to
and see what happened. We had a great bro day.
Bro fest.
Whatever.
PWB. So I was talking to I'm not going to invite if you invite me over. Then I will try to organize a time to come, but so to speak. But I'm not going to just be like, hey man, what are you doing? Mind if I come through? That's not what I'm doing. But I will hit you up, be like, hey man, what are you doing? Can you come through? But that's me inviting you to my house.
Right.
But then I start feeling guilty, man, does he feel or does this, JR or whoever, I always got to come out there. I was like, no. But if you don't, then you got to invite me there because I'm not going to
a vampire.
I'm not going to invite myself.
That's exactly. Bobby's a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm. That's why there's the dark circles under my eyes.
There's no mirrors down there.
Yeah, they're just
Does Detolf glass? Does Detolf glass work on vampires? Somebody Google that.
The mirrors don't work because they're backed by silver.
Money.
So vampires don't interact with silver. So they should have a reflection in glass.
Are there vampires in the Star Wars universe?
Just a vampire looking. Dude, I thought Zep, whatever his name is, his species is like almost extinct from Rebels. I thought he looked like a vampire monster.
So I beat that game too, by the way. Should I follow?
Yeah.
Talk about that last week.
I'm able to grab it from you.
I'm not done. I'm
100%.
Yeah. 100%.
At some point in
not in a
time,
rush.
I do have a PS4 sitting in my house getting dusty. If somebody's not using it, I might like to give it a spin.
Yeah.
I already called
Until
it.
my hands cramp up and I hate myself. So
Do they have big and tall controllers at big and tall?
So it's funny.
Big old controllers.
The only video game I really ever play is Mario Kart, and they've got it now where you can set up where the gas button's always down.
Oh,
And you've got bumpers like kids bowling, and that's how I play because I really have
God.
to. 'Cause
So
my hands are so fucked up.
we got another question from Patreon, but I have to apologize because I screenshot all that kind of stuff.
And you cut the name off.
And when I screenshot it, I was getting a text message at the same time, and it's overlapping the name.
You want to tell us whose fault it is that you don't have a?
Mallrat,
Okay,
my buddy Mallrat.
way to go.
You
You have a buddy named Mallrat.
Yeah,
he has
it's
a
not
funny
his
name of
name.
everything.
It's not-
Trees, fucking.
And what's funny is this dude is so not the Mallrat type, but his
God, I haven't heard that term in so long.
but his name.
The mall's to be a rat in.
His real name is similar.
I got you.
So
Muskrat.
just like my buddy Gamez, Gamez, I call him Games.
Oh,
You know, Black Widow streaming. He said, "Here's a question for the podcast: when will the new release movies like Black Widow and the upcoming Marvel releases be available on Disney Plus?" So my guess with this is, and it's just my guess, right? Because we don't know yet, right? Because there's been
We
nothing.
don't know.
There's been nothing to come out.
Well,
Captain Marvel.
In-game went.
No, but Captain Marvel's. I mean, Endgame's been out on DVD.
But the first place it came to streaming was Disney.
Correct. So the first place it comes to streaming is definitely going to be Disney Plus.
And
There's no doubt about that.
Only
And
Disney
I don't know
Plus.
that
my-
it'll ever go anywhere else.
My question is, how quick? How quick does it go?
That's a good point.
because
the week before the DVD comes out, maybe.
so
I think they're going to give you an advantage over physical media.
That's the question.
That's going to be part
That's
of
the
it.
question. Is because there's
That's
nothing
clever.
else coming out, right? That's because Endgame was the last thing, right? Yeah. No, Spider-Man, but that was Sony.
Sony. So the next
Yeah.
thing will be Black Widow. From that. But
No, it'll be
episode 9.
It'll be 9.
Yeah, I'm just saying Marvel. But
Yeah. Or Aladdin.
But Aladdin's not out yet.
No, it is,
On non-Disney Plus.
but it's out on DVD.
Yeah, because I watched it.
So that to me would be the answer. That the physical media will come out first, and then you'll see it go to Disney Plus.
gives you a chance to buy it. Mm-hmm. But that
Because why wouldn't they just pump it straight to?
because Bobby, how much is the stream worth?
Don't you do it?
Because like that would mean that it's more worthwhile for them to get a sale on a DVD versus a subscription.
Right.
I heard something interesting the other day about subscriptions, and this is about wrestling. So WWE has WWE Network. They do there's a ton of content on there. You watch whenever you want, but their big push is they do their pay-per-views that used to cost $30-$40 now it's $9.99 a month, right?
Right.
There's a pay-per-view this coming Sunday that as of today they have not officially announced a single match for this show. That's a week out. Because they have determined that announcing the matches 24 to 48 hours before the event increases the stream
rollout.
The stream purchase. So that's just a little bit of apples and oranges here, but at the same time, it may be some short-sighted announcements that we get out of this whole process.
What's the Frozen 2 will be another one to watch.
Electric Boogaloo, yeah. Actually, I've named that The Deuce. Frozen 2, The Deuce.
Okay.
Because my oldest and his girlfriend went and saw that this past week.
Oh, wow.
And he said it was, quote, not bad.
Wow.
But they
is he going to do a blog on it? Or?
No. they got to see it for free.
I got
some hookup at the theater or whatever.
But I do wonder, like if Frozen 2, because Frozen 2's in the theater, so that'll be a
The
good
Deuce!
one. That'll be a good one to watch also.
Yeah, that will be a good one. And it made a fuck ton of money.
So my guess is theater, normal physical media release, and then Disney Plus thereafter. if we're basing it off of Aladdin 2. I mean, Aladdin 2. Frozen 2. I mean, Aladdin in... Fuck me! I quit, man.
Aladdin live action.
Too much hanging out without me has been fucking up my vibe.
Holy shit!
No, but I think that I think
Pinkerton, this is your fault.
No, I think that Aladdin and then watching Frozen 2 will answer this question. But my guess,
I'm not watching Frozen 2. I will watch where it goes.
The trajectory,
but I'm not watching
the trajectory. The trajectory.
Just let it go, Bobby. Okay. Just let it go.
But my guess is that whatever they do will be the formula, and I'm guessing based off Aladdin that it's theatrical release, physical release, stream on Disney Plus exclusively forever. And what you might see them do with Disney Plus is shut shit down for a while.
What do you mean?
Like this isn't available streaming.
Oh, so
like
instead
the Vault.
Instead of, it's like last time available on Blu-ray this century.
I can see them doing that. All right, so then email questions. Let me go through this.
And I do apologize for the short. I didn't put out a question. I didn't cast the net, so to speak, this week. I forgot. Sue me.
So we got a NRR or Star Wars podcast question.
Oh, it's both right now.
Yeah, where are you putting an F-bomb? Saw a meme making the rounds this week of someone saying Revenge of the Sith PG-13 is where would you place the word fuck to push it over the edge into an R rating. The person chose the Anakin Youngling scene, which got my nod of approval.
I know where I want it.
While Star Wars is scared to sacred, he spelled it. That's not on me. That's not on me for this one. But it's sacred to us and wholesome family fun. What scene would you choose for the maximum F-bomb effect? Let's go with original trilogy for now, prequels, then sequels, time permitting.
Hang on a sec. Just for clarification, a PG-13 movie in 2019 gets one F-bomb.
That's from Caleb.
But
okay.
Not as an
it can't be a sexual derivative. It
can't be a verb,
an expletive. Shout out to the Fast and Furious franchise who always takes advantage of that.
1,000%. I have no doubt.
So, are we assuming that everything's PG-13?
Real quick, did you ever see Get Shorty?
Oh, it's
I think so, a long time ago.
So they talk about it in Get Shorty because he's like working on the screenplay.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, and Get Shorty was PG-13. And he was like, when you're writing a PG-13, when you're writing a movie and trying to get a PG-13 movie, you're only allowed one F word. You know what I say to that? Fuck that.
Yeah.
And like that was it for the movie.
It's pretty clever. I haven't seen that in years. Another Rock was in that, actually.
Was he?
Yep. He plays a flamboyant
I don't remember him.
man.
Yes.
He's a big tall guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember
broad
him.
shoulders. Kind of looks like the Savage Dragon a little bit. Yeah.
Fin on his
He
head.
tucks the fin in, yeah.
So original trilogy.
No. No, I think it said
It's original first.
Well, it basically he's
it's
saying
original,
the way
then
I took
prequel, then
the way I took it is just consider all the movies are PG-13.
Saw me making
place that one
at the end. What do you say? The question.
Let's go with original trilogy for now. Prequels, then sequels.
I got listening comprehension.
It's hard to read it and focus on my reading, and it's like reading out loud. You know what I mean? When you get all nervous. So go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Anyway, I guess episode 1 we'll go round robin.
Episode 1.
When he comes up to his aunt and uncle dead. Fuck.
When he goes up to who?
The burnt up.
Oh, that's episode 4.
I was still going.
Okay.
Episode 1. What?
I'm going to say when Jar Jar shows up, Qui-Gon looks at him and says, fuck.
I think when Sebulba's shit lands after his thing is blown up and he's like, Poodoo, but he's like, fuck. You know, that's what I'm going with.
Poodoo.
I don't remember episode 1 that much.
Okay, episode 2 then.
Episode 2, definitely during the dinner scene with Panakin and Panakin. I'm going to call it that, Panakin, when it's Padme and Anakin. And he's like, when he throws the fruit her way, and he's like, you trying to fuck?
But you can't say it like that. You can't say it as a verb.
You can't say it's a verb.
It can be a verb.
Well, that's my answer anyway.
Okay.
Qui-Gon Jinn when he gets stabbed.
Fuck. That's the wrong movie.
But he's got one now. He's got no
one. That's one.
Probably somewhere in the scene with Obi-Wan and Jango.
It'll be Obi-Wan that says it
when he's hanging. Yeah.
What if he's like during the space shooting sequence?
No,
I'm saying what if, and he's like, and instead when Boba's like, he's like, fuck them.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. The child cursing,
and he's a little fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, at episode 3, it's got to be Mace when he gets his arm cut off.
So my thing with episode 3 is right when the Emperor lightning's mace out of the room, and he's like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have one for?
I mean, that scene is just so. I mean, that the whole scene is just so great. I mean, you want Samuel Jackson to say it,
Right. That's what I was getting at.
but you want him. You can't say fuck. You can't say motherfucker.
You can't say.
No, because that's his thing. Like when his fucking 3 best men get stabbed. Fuck. Now he's by himself.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Mace. Oh yeah, Mace. Like disappointed.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It turns out I did need 3 masters. Episode 4.
Well, hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Rogue One.
Oh, Rogue One.
Oh shit, Rogue One.
Anybody got one off the top of their head?
It's going to have to be Krennic that says it.
Yes. When it just starts going bad,
I think. Well, no, I think he says it right after Tarkin says, "I'm taking over command of this." He said, "Fuck."
So I got one too. When Krennic, you gave me my idea. When in the very opening scene when he's going to find Galen, and he's like, where, he's lonely now after Lana passed, and yeah, that's it. Search the house, and then Lana comes up with a gun, and he's, well, look who the fuck it is.
That's a good one too.
What about after Vader says, "Don't choke on your aspirations," and he's like, "Fuck."
Or what if he dropped it, Vader? Careful not to choke on your fucking aspirations.
Yeah, that may be too out of character though.
Or Leia, like when he's like, "What's on the tapes?" Fucking hope.
Wow. Okay, so episode 4. You said yours already.
Mine is definitely when Porkins gets blown up in the.
How about hey? No fucking droids.
Oh, that would fit too.
That's good.
That would fit too.
I've got the death sentence on 26 fucking systems.
Yeah, that would work too. Yeah. All the gangster shit would work.
Yeah, there's any time in that.
What about Empire? It's hard to fuck with perfection.
I think when he cuts open the tauntaun, he says,
"Oh fuck." What about a fuck me?
Is that too much of a verb?
Or I'll see you in fucking hell.
Yeah. What about you, Jim?
No, that's like.
Is it baby?
No.
Just forget. Kids are home.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say Star Wars is a big thing of callbacks and formula circle, like the kind of tradition and so on and so forth. So Han and Leia in the scene with the you'd like a scoundrel, all that, and then Han says, "You trying to fuck?" Which would be a callback at this point to episode 2.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? Maybe Leia hits it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would be hard. You trying to fuck?
I think C-3PO says it in this one. Yeah. Like when they got him.
Look, sir, I think she's down to fuck.
That's definitely not what I was going for. All right.
As he's running away. Fuck!
Oh, when he gets shot, you mean?
Yeah.
When he,
or when Luke makes him float when he's the god for the.
Oh yeah, the Jedi.
Fuck. He used to be wild like fuck.
Yeah. What about you for Jedi?
There's nothing coming on the top of my head that's better.
Just real quick on Jedi. You are a professionally trained soldier, and you get beat by teddy bears.
Oh, yeah. I've talked about this at length. And not just a professionally trained soldier. This is an entire legion of my best troops awaits them. Just like they're like the best Jedi that Mace had.
Right. Yeah, how'd that work out?
I'm going to say there's a deleted scene that we don't get to see. Like those guys that are like the Emperor's advisors that everybody's like, who the fuck are those guys? Like there's like guys in the purple cloaks that look old men, and like they're talking to the Emperor, and then they walk away, and then Vader's like, who the fuck are those guys?
I mean, obviously,
one of them was probably Snoke.
It's obvious.
He's speaking for the viewer. He's being the voice of the viewer in that scene.
I mean, obvious is when he's like fucking getting thrown up with lightning.
Fuck! Yeah.
Just fucking snapping lightning.
Nanum drops it. Fuck! Like that. Maybe.
We forgot
Solo.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Where does Solo fit in? I forget.
Before Rogue One.
Before Rogue One. So Solo, I'd probably
it's not long after 3, right?
So it's right after they escape from the mall or whatever it's called. What is it called? The mall or the mall? MAW. The mall, and
mall rats.
Yeah, mall rats. Right after they escape from that and get out of all that bit in 12 parsecs or whatever, and then Kira is like, "Wow, the Kessel Run was a lot fucking dumber than I thought it was going to be."
That's good.
Oh, Becker when he gets shot at the end.
Yep, that'll work.
It's like, fuck, I didn't think you were going to shoot first.
Yeah, that's a good scene too.
The movie has its moments.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of hard to get through the whole thing.
For sure.
I don't know. I like it.
I like it.
I mean, I like it too. I
like it all.
I went and saw it 3 times in the theater.
It's nice to see the Spice Mine again in Rebels.
Yeah.
For like 2 episodes. It's like a lot.
Yeah,
I know the reference.
Yeah. 7.
Just at the beginning, somebody just says, fuck.
Finn will say it.
Finn could say it, yeah.
He's like,
I'm fucking out of here. He starts packing his shit to get off of Takodana. I'm trying to think of
and Rey didn't get her extra portions. Fuck.
Oh, that would be great. 1/4 fucking portion.
Right when Han gets stabbed, he's like, I never fucking loved you. You fucking ruined my marriage. He gets 2 off for some reason.
That would be good.
Last Jedi. Oh, I know it. Those fucking frog nuns. When the boulder hits, it's like, who the fuck? What in the fuck? When the boulder hits the thing.
I was gonna say when Luke disappears and Kylo just says, "Fuck."
Yeah, he feels that way.
Yeah, he does. That was a fun little excercise.
I think it's Luke when he had handed lightsabers. Fuck this, and tosses it behind his back.
Oh yeah. Or when Yoda's like, page turners, they were not. And then Luke would be like, yeah, fucking long, those things. 800 pages in those fucking things. And then that's it, right? That's it for now.
Yeah, that's it. That was a fun little exercise.
Yeah, that was good. And then we had a Paul C. question.
Oh, boy.
And Caleb's email always comes up Gmail, like is his name, so I always had to hit reply to see the address come up in order to know who it is. Paul C. says, buckle up, this is a strange one.
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Let's put ourselves in a world where every time someone orgasms, male and female,
I'm
makes
already in.
a distinct and audible noise. Distinct and audible enough that whenever it happens, anyone around would hear it and know.
Oh, my goodness.
First part of the question, what do you want that sound to be? It can either be the same for both men and women or distinct per gender. Please come up with suggestions and reach a consensus as a group.
What?
The meat, so to speak, of the question.
What? Paul, what's wrong with you?
If this were the case, do you think this would result in people jacking off all the time because it would become so much more normalized? Or do you think people would get more private about it because they didn't want people to know when they did it? Do you think that the results would be different between men and women?
I think it'll be different. It depends on if it's a funny noise.
So let's start there. Do we think they'd be different between men and women?
I want them to be.
I would say yes.
I would say yes. I think the woman's needs to be a foghorn.
And what about the men's? Pam, 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 pam.
That's it.
This happened a lot sooner. So that's all right. So we
you
all
just be hearing that shit all the time everywhere.
So let's agree on that, and then we can just discuss it a little bit more. Theoretically, I would want them to be sounds that I love. You know, like that you just hear, like so. Like one of the sounds that I personally love is like the alerting sound in Star Wars. The that would definitely have to be the men's.
So is that the one that there was a Rogue One trailer that was basically that noise?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
I like that noise.
Yes,
but it's very alarming.
Yeah. Yeah. I want you to know it's coming.
Well, that's just coming.
Look out.
But I mean.
It starts as you know.
Honey, you're going to need a poncho.
No, not for me. That's not my bag. Like I can call my shortcomings, so to speak.
That's a funny one. That's a funny word. Shortcomings.
That's not my strong suit.
You don't want something peaceful like a wind chime?
No.
For women.
For women, maybe.
Nope, foghorn.
Oh yeah.
So we know.
So like, okay, maybe
You can't
not,
fake it anymore.
maybe-
That's one thing
I
that's
guess
a bit
it's
different.
a foghorn. Is a foghorn the noise that a cruise ship makes?
Yes.
When they're taken off. It's the same noise in the War of the Worlds movie with Tom Cruise when
I need to watch
they
it. I
come
haven't
down.
seen it.
Oh,
I want to watch it.
they make a very similar noise to that, and it's very uncomfortable.
If I was going to relate it back to Star Wars, just for the sake of a Star Wars story, it would be the bird that Obi-Wan rides in episode.
No, fuck that. No, it's the fucking screaming of a TIE fighter.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good.
Well, there's your two.
Yeah.
Well, are there?
That shit.
have
And
a-
you come to find out, it's not because they've been intimidating. It's just because the Empire was cheap and then building shielding around a goddamn engine.
Yeah.
How do you see out on the fucking TIE fighters, anyways?
I mean, it's a pretty big. I feel like it's a pretty
I mean,
big.
you got two big blind spots.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
But you have those computer screens.
You can only see forward.
You only need to shoot forward, right?
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck about you getting shot.
Yeah. They don't care about that.
So in this scenario, is there something called a muffler that helps keep the sound down?
No.
If you live in tight spaces, or it's just like, kids, you're gonna hear some noises. You get used to it.
Yeah.
I feel like you just emanate the noise from your whole body. You can't fucking hide that shit.
But I do think there would be less.
So it doesn't come from the genitalia; it just comes out of your pores.
I think there'd be less jerking off or less masturbating overall because people would be self-conscious about the noise.
No. There's centers where it's all noise because it's all. Is it all the same? Does everybody have
Yes.
the same noise?
Dude,
then it's just
the
sound.
back of a fucking porn store,
or
those
or-
video booths.
Oh
or
my god!
hang on, no. We sell a CD. You remember those Gramps CDs that you can play that has the noise that it's constantly playing. So it desensitizes everybody to whatever noises we've decided on here.
Yeah.
Well, there's a CD of fried chicken noises when I was in Japan.
I just remember you telling us about
it's
it.
great.
That's crazy as shit. I think that you would, especially like, people that go to the bathroom in public places or whatever just to crank one out like that. All that shit would come to an that shit would come to an end.
Who's done that? I've done it before. I've done it at work before when I was younger. Like when I was like fucking 18 and working at the
Well,
art gallery.
I told you the wildest place I ever jerked off is at the Ice Capades.
I don't think I remember that. I don't
That's
think
that's a big old fact.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was like probably like 15 years old or something. Like I was a kid, and my mom was taking my sister to the Ice Capades, so we all went, and like it was a Beauty and the Beast Ice Capades, and Belle was looking away, and my hormones kicked in. And I was like, "Ooh, it's cold in here." And I brought my arms inside my shirt, and I brought my dick up above, like, and But,
Wait, while you're sitting there in front of everybody?
Yep.
That is fucking wild.
Right
Don't call
then.
me a fucking monster anymore.
No, I didn't call you a monster. I called you a freak, and I wear the freak hat. I'm a freak. I'm fucked up. I'm with the shits generally, but
Not the shits.
No,
though.
no,
Some
not-
people
not-
are with the
yeah,
shits.
yeah. To be fair, that Biggie, that you know what I'm talking about. That's a good one. Biggie's nasty girl or nasty freak, or whatever it's called.
Nasty girl.
Nasty girl. Where he's like, so this girl, she says like, will you shit on me? And I was like, well, I mean, maybe, fuck you, and I won't call you tomorrow or something, like, shit on you like that. She's like, no, I want you to cock over me and take a shit on my chest. And I was like, what, am I supposed to hit that afterwards? I'm supposed to, that's fucking disgusting. So anyway, after I shits on him, but no, I'm not with that shits generally. But generally speaking, I'm fucked up in that regard.
It's actually nasty boy.
Nasty boy. So here's the thing about that haunts me to this day. I was trying to be indiscreet, right? My mother looked over at me and had a look of disgust on her face. And to this day, I don't know if she knew, because my mother generally looked at me with a look of disgust on her face. But it just so happens I was really earning it at that moment.
This is perfect timing. Posse just texted me.
Oh, what did he say?
I'm just saying we're answering your question on air right now. I don't know. It's a long one. I have to read it after. But that's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
And I jerked off in geometry class one time. Same
I'm
way.
like, that I couldn't get off it like that.
No,
I mean, I've played with myself,
And I know some tricks.
I played with myself, but like not to completion.
And I know some tricks. Like I know some tricks where you don't have to stroke, and
I've used my thighs when I was fatter.
Yeah, like I'm
Just fuck my thighs.
I have my
Pinkerton just like staring at
my
us like,
hormones still aren't. I don't feel like 100% normal. But when I was a teenager, I was a wreck.
See, we're in the same boat, Bobby, because I'm still fucking ridiculous right now, but not like when I had to take a break at work to fucking jerk off, because that was crazy. Like, I don't know how they decide like what age human beings can make decisions at, but 18-year-old males should not be allowed to make fucking any kind of rational decisions, because you can't.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Have you ever done anything other than that in front of your parents?
Huh?
I mean, he
I
jerked off in front of his mom.
Oh, this is true.
I mean, that's fucking crazy.
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
Front of?
Because I mean,
Maybe.
I've definitely done stuff, and like while my parents were driving me and my girlfriend at the time, we were doing stuff in the back.
Right, exactly.
Like,
Stuff like that. Yeah,
I was like fingering her. Like
Yeah, so I've done stuff like that. For sure. I'm trying to think about. I
might have done that on a church bus one time.
I've had sex with my wife in front of my siblings and them not know it.
siblings is not. Yeah, siblings is good. I don't have any siblings, but I had sex with my girlfriend at the time. We were in a hotel room in New York. Like, so we're in the same hotel room, 2 beds. Like, I was quietly fucking my girlfriend.
Yep.
And the next bed is my parents. That's like thinking back. That's fucking crazy.
Pretty ballsy.
That is crazy. Why the fuck would I do that?
But the other side of it is, if they did notice, would they do anything about it? Would they take the time to be like, "What are you doing over there?
What's going on?
What are you guys
Pull the sheets back.
You guys making a stew? What are you doing?
I'm thinking I don't know.
You got a tickle or funny bone over there, Joe?
I'm sure with all the times I've, God damn it, with all the times I've fucked around like in the presence of my parents, I'm sure at least 1 or 2 of the times they have had to know and just not say anything about it.
Yeah.
But like with this noise,
I know I've
you
done it in
can't.
front of the siblings because I remember.
In front of our current listener right now,
I don't know.
you can't remember.
I can't remember.
Ask her.
She wouldn't know.
I mean, like if she noticed one time.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. Because like they would be like because we'd be like in my room at my mom's house, and like watching a movie or something, and Laura and I would be on the bed, and they would be like sitting on the bed, like on the floor in front of the TV, and
They got to know, right?
I don't know, man. I was slow burning it, which isn't really my style. Look, shout out to the rest of the Cool Table network. Shout out to Shattercast Uncut, Enter the Realm, Beer and Bolters 401k, Stasis Lock, Toy Detox.
We need to clean up this table.
Yeah, we do. Building Up to a Fresh Communications, Verbally Challenged, and Breaking the Mold. And shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage team. Dante over on Facebook, Raul on Instagram, Marilyn Phil doing our notes and holding us down on Twitter. And, of course, Mr. Manny behind the scenes, Gort and Andy helping me out with Force-sensitive stuff. We also have the playlist that we're doing.
Is anyone using it?
Yeah, please let us know if you're doing this. It's not a huge undertaking, but I am taking notes and creating these playlists during the show here. So let us know if you're enjoying the music, if you're listening to the music, if you're not, if you wanted to
if we're wasting our time.
Yeah, just let us know.
We wanted it as kind of like a fun extra thing, but if no one's using it, then we can just keep
Then
it.
fuck it.
Yeah, then fuck it. That's our one F-bomb for the day. And I think that's it.
Yeah, with that, Flappy Labius.
Tasty taint.
Tight dick player.
I want to talk about Star Wars for 3 more hours.
Yeah, that was a good one.